strike by Mars in the pitch. Swung on and hit the right field. That's way back there. A run! Cardinals win! An attack into the national pit! I don't believe it!
Here in the heartland, the folks have a great appreciation for hard work, getting dirty, and seeing your job through. For these boys from Vanderbilt and Virginia, the foundation was laid months ago. Tonight, the finishing touches on unforgettable seasons. Will the team from the Music City strike the right note and claim the first men's national title in school history? Or is it destiny that the man who grew up only miles from college baseball's mecca has come home to lead his team to the game's ultimate glory? This is Game 3, the end game at the College World Series.
Game 3, College World Series. That's like a dream come true. I don't have to take a picture. I don't need a camera. I will see this and it will never leave my mind.
Regardless of the outcome, it's going to be the last game of the year.
It goes way too fast, it all disappears. And when it's gone, we'll still be here, hanging around, missing the sands of summer.
In the back of your head, you know it's going to be win or go home.
I think it's sort of a destiny type of thing.
The first time I ever saw a crowd that I couldn't see the seats. Having 20+ thousand fans out there watching you play baseball, it gave me goosebumps.
Didn't think that you could become so close to a group of guys. It's something that you don't trade in for the world.
It's special. We go to night dreaming about it every night.
We came here for a reason, to bring a national championship back to Charlottesville.
Well, we're gonna do it. For sure.
We welcome you to ESPN's coverage of the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. These two teams have combined to play 139 games, and tonight it is down to just one for Vanderbilt and Virginia. It's the College World Series winner-take-all title game, and it's been a pleasure to get to know my team here, Kyle Peterson, Aaron Boone, and of course we'll be joined by Jess Mendoza and Jamie Sire in just a bit. So it says 1-1, this is the final game, but if you look at the numbers, this really has been a two-game series dominated by one team, and that's been Virginia, especially offensively.
Yeah, Virginia came into the college baseball season maybe considered the most talented team in college baseball, and this very talented offense very well could be playing their best baseball at this time of year. They've scored 15 runs the last two games, 28 hits, paced by their talented group of left-handed hitters. Brandon Cogswell at the top of this lineup has been tremendous, and Joe McCarthy has really come on in this College World Series final. In fact, coming into this game, they had the first three games of this College World Series, just 3 runs a game. But in the finals against a talented Vanderbilt pitching staff, 7.5 games. Carson Fulmer has his hands full.
He sure does. Carson Fulmer, like Waddell last night for Virginia, he threw a complete game. It could very well be decided by what he does to kind of set the tone for Vanderbilt.
And if there's a guy, if you're Vanderbilt, that you want out there, it's Carson Fulmer, because in the biggest spots, Fulmer has been a guy that's been the most consistent the entire year for Vanderbilt. Started the first half of the season as the closer and was lights out in that role, but they needed him as a starter. So Fulmer, when he made that move, has become the staff ace. For Josh Sborz, all he did in the third game of Super Regionals, 7 innings, strikeout 9 against Maryland, and allow Virginia to get to this College World Series. They'll tailor the tape between the two. And you can see the numbers from the ERA standpoint. Fulmer with a little advantage. The power, about even. Both mid-90s fastball. Control might be a little bit better for Fulmer, but power arms at the beginning and plenty of power arms behind him tonight.
It'll end tonight. Vandy's got an entirely new lineup, one they've never used before. Let's have a good one. Vandy, Virginia for the College World Series title.
Get ready, 'cause here I come. You're gonna wish you never took me on. Get ready, 'cause here I come. Once I start, you'll know where I'm from. Get ready, ready to fight. Come prepared for a hell of a night. Get ready, ready to fight. One down, next round, ready.
The NCAA College World Series is presented by the Quicksilver Card from Capital One. Earn 1.5% cash back on every purchase. And in part by the Lexus LS, perhaps the most visionary vehicle on the road.
TD Ameritrade Park. They've been playing the College World Series here only since 2011. And the wind, which hadn't been a factor in the first two games, may be one tonight. Earlier, it had been blowing in. Now it seems to be blowing out to right field as we send it down to Jess Mendoza.
Hey, Carl. Well, as you know, a lot of teams, when they get here to the World Series, they get really tight. They get nervous. But for Virginia, it has been just the opposite. In fact, early in the season, they were ranked #1, and they played most of their regular season very, very tight. So Brian O'Connor told me he decided to do something he rarely does. As they headed into the postseason, he's like, I'm going to let loose at these reins a little bit. Let this team control themselves and see what happens. I talked to the team. They said they've never played better because of it. They're having fun and playing a better baseball, not just here at the World Series, but obviously all the way through the finish. And for more on Vanderbilt, here's Jamie Sire.
Thanks so much, Jessica. I asked Dansby Swanson if he was nervous heading into this World Series final Game 3. He said, what do I have to be nervous about? This is just baseball. Now, Rhett Weissman was a little bit more honest with me. He said, everybody's nervous, but it's the team that settles down, relaxes first. That's going to be the team that wins. And then unprompted, he just looked out at the field and said, there is nothing better than this. We played the very first game of the college baseball season, and now we're here to play the last one with the national title on the line. Carl?
Jess and Jamie, they'll be joining us all night as we take a look at Tim Corbin, who was in that position for quite a long time after last night's game. You'll see him coach third base for the Commodores. He's been there a dozen years and has made 10 NCAA appearances. Our Capital One starting lineup for the Commodores.
Yeah, a little shake-up. Rhett Weissman from the bottom of the lineup has moved up into the two-hole against the righty, and Brian Williams, the freshman, has probably been the Vanderbilt's best postseason hitter, hitting over 400 with 10 RBIs, 321 in this College World Series.
Going to face the big right-hander Josh Sborz. We talk about stuff a little bit in the open. For Sborz, you're going to see a mid-90s fastball. The stuff is very good. When Sborz struggles, it's just when the fastball is a little bit out of the zone. The walks are a little bit up. That's the only thing that would worry you. Fastball velocity will not worry you. It could be up as high as 96, 97. A very good power slider. And when he's good, he's effectively wild. Doesn't allow anybody to get comfortable in the box.
There's a look at those flags. And we've had two very quiet nights, and tonight partly cloudy, 78 degrees. It's been warm during the day, and as the crowd files in here, this is the first time that Tim Corbin has used this lineup. You got a #2 hitter in Weissman and Norwood batting cleanup. The 3, 4, 5 guys have been very, very quiet during these College World Series games. And the team that scores first has gone 12-3 at the College World Series. Dansby Swanson starts things off for Vanderbilt. First pitch off the glove of Pinero. That's a good start. And as he said, why be nervous? Single to lead things off.
Well, Dansby Swanson wasting no time getting a fastball right down the middle of the plate. He jumps on it and hammers it past a diving Pinero there to set the table now for Vanderbilt. Kyle, you hit on in the open. 42 walks for Sborz in just over 70 innings. It's something to watch because this Vanderbilt lineup is very good at making you throw strikes. And if he's at all wild, I think Vanderbilt can take advantage of that as an offense.
And I think the other thing, too, sometimes he is not overly quick to the plate. And look for Tim Corbin and I think Brian O'Connor to push some buttons early.
Well, again, Weissman has been moved up to the #2 spot, so he's at the plate now with Swanson, who is a base-stealing threat, 21 on the season. Kenny Towns at third base, in on the grass by about 4 or 5 feet. They like to put pressure on a defense. They'll throw over.
Picture of the whole field. Again, the shadow's a little bit of an issue typically at the start of the games here at TD Ameritrade Park. See Sborz in the sunlight, Weissman in the shade, and the backdrop in the sunlight. That favors the pitchers just a little bit.
Look at how they have scored their runs, Vanderbilt. 49 walks, 11 hit by pitches, and 15 opponent errors. In fact, about 63% of the runs at the College World Series have been scored via the hit. About 37 or so percent have been scored on things other than hits. This one may be playable. Kenny Towns and Panero going to chase it. He slides and makes the catch. Tagging from first is Swanson. He's in at second. But what a catch by Towns, who was celebrating a little bit, and Swanson gets into scoring position.
Well, you're right. Great play by Kenny Towns, but an even greater play maybe by Dansby Swanson. This is a very difficult play for a third baseman, and certainly a Sports Center top 10 nominee as he finds the railing, goes into his slide, and makes a very difficult play. But you're right, a little too excited, and Dansby Swanson, the great athlete and the great baseball player over there at first, paying attention and is able to move up to second and into scoring position.
For Brian Reynolds, the left fielder, hitting .341 on the season. Sborz first fastball to him is a ball. Out of Brentwood, Tennessee, the freshman, 6'2", 195 pounds. Swanson, Weissman, Reynolds, sophomore, freshman, the top three for Vanderbilt. Last time we saw Brian Reynolds.
Yeah, I think it was a good move to put a fork in that mustache there. Much better look for Reynolds tonight. Had that Timmy Lincecum.
Well, that worked for Timmy
well today.
That worked well for.
That did work well for Timmy today.
Tim Lincecum threw a no-hitter, if you hadn't heard, against the Padres. Here's Reynolds with Swanson on second base in the first inning, and they'll keep an eye on Dansby. Stealing third is certainly something that both of these teams will employ if they get a chance.
Yeah, a little more difficult with the lefty at the plate, but something that will not stop them. If he can get a break and a read out there, Swanson's got the green light.
In the dirt, blocked. Swanson's looking for that secondary lead, but a good job behind the plate by Coleman. How about that? 15 steals, the rest of the field 13. That's the rest of the entire field. 8 teams showed up here, Aaron, and we're down to the final 2.
Yeah, and I think in that original graphic you saw the errors made against Vanderbilt and how they score their runs. Well, that speed, that athleticism puts some more pressure on the defense, causes them to make some more mistakes.
Well, it makes you think differently on the mound, too, because the looks for Sborz since Swanson has been out there have been varied every time. So you have to think about that runner at second base.
Ball 4, patience for Brian Reynolds, and he's on. And now we'll see what John Norwood in the cleanup spot has to offer. His first time as the number 4 hitter all season long.
Flipping spots in the order with Xander Wheel, who's hitting 5th tonight. Norwood's had a lot of good at-bats, a lot of hard hit balls in this College World Series.
Toronto Blue Jays selected him in the 12th round of the 11 draft. And there are a handful of first-rounders on the field tonight. And several who will be selected in the first round of the coming years.
Now with Reynolds on at first and Swanson at second, this is definitely a running combination. And with the right-handed hitter up and one out, this is a time where Swanson especially, will look to get a jump, and Reynolds will keep an eye on him to see if they can both pull it off.
5 runs batted in, leads the College World Series as he looks at one low, tight zone, 2-0.
Good take, and he saw the slider both times. So 2 straight sliders from Sborz, and both times you can see the head of Norwood follow it all the way into the glove. He's picking it up pretty early. Now in a plus count, if he gets a fastball, I think Norwood will be aggressive here.
Big right center field vacancy, and the wind is blowing in that direction. Swanson's going, throw to second base, into center field. Swanson's going to come in. Vandy's going up 1-zip. The play at third. Reynolds is out. Boom. The aggressiveness plates one, cost them an out, but they have drawn first blood.
Well, I love the aggressiveness, and we talked about Swanson will look to run in this situation. He gets a walking lead and a great jump, and Reynolds does an outstanding job of moving with them. Coleman decides to go for the guy behind, but Reynolds doesn't pick up where the ball is, and more importantly, he doesn't pick up where Brandon Downs is, who does a great job of backing up and charging the ball hard and turning it into an out at third base.
In there for a strike, 3-1. So we talked about how the runs have scored without hits. There's another one. And instead of 2 men on and 1 out, nobody on, 2 outs, but a run in. Called strike 2.
I like the idea for Coleman to throw to second base in that spot too. I mean, Swanson, the jump that he had, there's no way you're going to throw him out at third. He either didn't have a grip on it, or Cogswell, he didn't expect to see Cogswell breaking to second base.
There you go, full count.
Had it all in the top of the first inning with a great catch by Towns. And now the 3-2. Lined up the middle, and that's good for another hit. Well, at the very least, in the beginning, this lineup juggling has worked.
Yeah, Norwood continues to barrel up balls. Couple of hard hit balls in last night's game here. Again, the patience of Vanderbilt. Laying off pitches out of the zone, pitches close, finally gets one he can handle. And as we thought, Artie Lewicki up at the first sign of trouble here for Virginia.
There was questions yesterday as to whether Sborz would start or whether Lewicki would start. I think the ideal for Virginia is get as many as you can and then go to Lewicki, but you just don't have the ability to wait tonight.
And with 2 outs, we'll see if Norwood will be in motion. He's got 17 steals on the season for Vanderbilt. Norwood's dancing over there, no doubt about that.
I mean, in all of Vanderbilt's base runners, you'll see them kind of really try and time the pitchers, try and get into a pattern with them. For the most part, Virginia pitchers in this College World Series finals have done a good job of varying their times to home plate and their holds of the ball.
Not going, and foul ball.
But you feel like, Kyle, it's a little more work for Sborz in dealing with the running game than, say, Waddell last night, who was in complete command of it, it felt like.
Yeah, it's just one more thing that has to enter your mind. And they're naturally going to be more aggressive against the right-hander than the left-hander because it's an easier read. You don't have to guess when that leg comes up as to whether or not he's coming to first base. But on the mound, it makes it a lot more uncomfortable. You feel like you have to rush, and when you rush, a lot of times that ball comes up in the zone.
Neither team has hit a home run during the College World Series, and both teams are looking for their first College World Series title.
One and two.
And there's Fulmer, who'll take the mound for Vanderbilt with at least a 1-run lead. 2-2. Remember, Vanderbilt had the lead last night. Waddell really found his rhythm last night. Innings 4, 5, 6, 7, and then he carried it through. They kept wondering how long he would go. He kept wondering. And they left him in the 7th, left him in the 8th, and he pitched the complete game.
Look out, 3-2.
Vanderbilt hitters look very comfortable against Sborz.
Yep.
When they swing, when they don't swing, they just, it doesn't seem like anybody has been fooled yet. There is Waddell, who threw an absolute gem last night for Virginia.
You can understand why he's yawning. I mean, he's tired. Threw a lot of pitches last night. 3-2. Ball 4, and it's a major league approach for this Vanderbilt offense to be very patient.
Well, and that's what Waddell was able to do last night, not only with his fastball, but his breaking ball and his changeup. He was filling up the strike zone, and against the patient Vanderbilt, it's so important because of their ability to lay off pitches out of the zone.
See the brain trust over there of Virginia between O'Connor, Kuhn, and Kevin McMullen. And that's not just throwing the ball.
I think it really, Kyle, could be one batter away.
I think it absolutely is one batter away. Carl Kuhn going to make him his way out right now, and I'd be surprised if they make a move now. But I think that's the discussion. It's go time if you're out there right now, and if not, we're going to make a move. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying to a guy in this situation either. For Sborz, we talked about control potentially being an issue, and it really has been so far. 2 walks in the first 5 that he's faced. 2 walks, 2 hits.
Sborz, his numbers tonight, and were it not for a great catch by the third baseman in foul territory, as well as kind of a base running error, I guess, but certainly a good backup job by Downs. You could have bases loaded here.
Yeah.
(6-4), 284 this year. In 76 innings, Sborz has given up 58 hits, 20 runs, 42 walks. He's issued 2 in this inning. Throws a strike, and this is Vince Conde, who'd been batting higher up, and he has been moved down in the order. Commodores would dearly love to put a crooked number up and not just 1. Last night we kept wondering when they would have that bullpen door open, and it never did. And tonight the answer may very well be very soon.
I think from Sborz too, we've seen more sliders and fastballs up to this point too, and this is for a guy that has a mid-90s fastball, but a lot of times it's a clear indication of what you trust and what you don't trust early in the game as Nathan Kirby looks on. The left-hander whose control was an issue just 2 days ago for Virginia.
Last night Tyler Beatty said after the game, and certainly during the game we could see it, really had 2 pitches. He had a fastball and a changeup. In the 3rd, 4th time through the lineup, they had figured it out. Tonight Sborz has been very dependent on that slider. 25th pitch of the first inning on the way to Conde, the junior out of Oviedo, Florida. Can't locate his fastball. And another full count.
Yeah, and the lack of feel for that fastball, I think, tells Condi he's probably getting another slider, because that's the pitch he feels like he can flip in there for a strike. But head start now for the Vanderbilt base runners.
4th straight 3-ball count. In there for a called strike 3. Condi got caught with a bat on his shoulder. But a good start for Vanderbilt and a long inning for Josh Sborz in Virginia. Coleman airmailed. That led to the first and only run of the game. But again, teams that score first, 12-3 at the College World Series. Brian Connor and Carl Kuhn just had a fairly lengthy conversation, perhaps about what to do with their pitcher in the 2nd inning. As Virginia seeks its first title in team history, this is their 3rd College World Series appearance, and they have been consistently good in the ACC. As we take a look at the Capital One starting lineup for O'Connor's Cavaliers.
Well, it's a lineup, as we talked about, on fire, and Brandon Cogswell leads it all off. 9 for 18 in the College World Series, slugging over 600 and getting on base over 600 at the top for the Cavaliers.
To the face, Carson Fulmer, the guy who's been the ace for Vanderbilt towards the end of the year. Coming on short rest, as Sborz is. We'll see if that affects Fulmer at all. Mid-90s fastball and a great breaking ball.
On the ground, Swanson, 1 pitch, 1 out. Cogswell is retired.
So quick start, quick out for Fulmer, and the fastball is the first thing that you will notice. That time 94. It will be mid to upper 90s at times. Everything's power fastball, power slider to go with it. Everything's max effort too. So it seems like on every pitch Fulmer is as hard as he possibly can. I think the key too with this left-handed loaded Virginia lineup is, do we see that changeup, and do they force Fulmer to go to the changeup?
Called strike at the knees, 95 miles an hour to Danny Pinero, the shortstop. He's only a freshman, 6'5", 200-pounder from Toronto, Ontario. So as Fulmer settles in here, they had 4 guys reach base last inning. How do we feel about the 1 run they scored?
Yeah, I feel like you should have came away with more if you're Vanderbilt in that spot. But nonetheless, coming off a loss, coming off where Virginia came back, a good start to the night, though, for the Commodores.
4 RBIs for Pinero. He's come up with some big hits, mostly back up the middles where he's lived.
Time.
I think you're going to see that a few times tonight against Fulmer too, because the movement towards home plate is about as quick as you'll ever see anybody out of the windup.
Good pitch right down the middle at 96 miles an hour.
The right foot is turned entirely on the rubber, and the left foot is in front of it, and all it is just the quickest rocker step you've ever seen, and then it's up and almost running towards home plate.
Nasty slider, but no offer from Pinero. Full body paint. That's what a game 3 of a College World Series will do for you. This one is out of play.
I'm not a huge fan of pitchers, but I really like watching Carson Fulmer work.
Oh boy, you're coming around.
I mean, he is fun to watch. Just get after it on the mound.
I mean, the look,
yeah,
the approach,
the stuff.
He's not letting off in it.
The sweat stains on the hat.
96.
Let's send it down to Jess. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Carl. Or Booney, Kevin McMullen, the hitting coach for Virginia, has had a lot of looks at Carson Fulmer as well. And he said, you know what? He throws the ball quick, not only hard, but he gets rid of it quick. So in batting practice, he's like, I mixed it up a little bit. I got really close to the guys, and I tried to quick pitch them. Go real fast, not only throwing the ball hard, but for them to get used to Fulmer's rhythm. He said the big mission for these hitters, guys, is for them to keep their own rhythm and not let Fulmer throw them off.
You hear the crowd booing Mike Pappy, the number 3 hitter for Virginia. First pitch is in there for a strike. Late in the game last night, he was involved in a collision. He basically ran over the third baseman, Tyler Campbell.
You know, guys, there's that changeup, Kyle. And this first one of the night is a really good one. That could be a good sign. But Fulmer reminds me a little bit of Brett Saberhagen, how he kind of had that quick rhythm, quick arm jump at you.
And it's just on you.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing too, Carl Ellison does not look like he's catching a guy throwing 96. Watch the hand movement back there, how soft he is. Another changeup from Fulmer, and that is an impressive first inning for the Power Riders.
And it's his tradition to be the last one off the field. And they're happy to give him high fives. Back-to-back changeups. Pappy retired a 1-2-3, 2-strikeout inning for Fulmer. And now let's recap the mayhem. It's brought to you by Allstate. How did we get to this situation? Well, game one, there was a 9-run third inning. 13 men came to the plate for Vanderbilt. The big hit was the Tyler Campbell double with the bases loaded. There were also 5 walks, a hit batter in that inning. And that game was won by Vandy. And then game 2, Brandon Waddell was outstanding, and he got better as the night wore on. A complete game for the Southpaw, and the Cavaliers have come back to tie up the College World Series at a game apiece. As we head to the top of the second inning, Vanderbilt 1, Virginia nothing, and already the wheels are in motion. A pitching change. Artie Lewicki, the senior from Wyckoff, New Jersey, is on to pitch.
8th rounder this year to the Detroit Tigers, and from a top-end fastball, it's going to be similar to what we expected to see from Sborz. The number, how about 33 hits in 62 2/3, 11 walks, 52 strikeouts. Lewicki is an incredible year in a few different roles for Virginia, now coming in at a giant spot.
He's facing the designated hitter. That's Ro Coleman, who stands 5'5" from Chicago, Illinois. First pitch fastball just missed at the knees.
And Ro Coleman, just a .214 average and 112 at-bats on the season, but like the rest of the Vanderbilt team, he's patient. .338 on base percentage, pretty good considering that average.
In there for a called strike. What an impressive inning for Carson Fulmer. And Vanderbilt fans wondering how long can he continue that, and the longer the better. Coleman's asking for time, and he's granted.
All right, 2-1.
That's going to get out of play. You saw the outfield and where they're playing, with the wind kind of blowing now back in from right field, and Coleman obviously not a huge power threat. But one of those kids who was a 4-year starter at Simeon High School. He had 525 as a senior and earned All-State honors. Vandy did not have an easy trek. They dealt with Oregon in the regional, and Rowe was up and delivered that. That walk-off single scored Xander Wheel. That moved into the Super Regional. So Rowe has been used and been in the middle of it all. He did get the Gatorade bath when that was all said and done.
All right, here we go.
Coach Corbin says he will be a great story in our program when he's done. Good hold there to 3-2.
Looks the hands start, go no further. Good job by Coleman. Recognize that fastball continued to move off the plate. Just held on.
Left center field. This one is caught out there by Derek Fisher as it tailed over towards the left fielder, and Coleman's retired. Just give you a little update on Lewicki's numbers at the College World Series. Against Ole Miss, he picked up the win, 2 innings, no hits. Against TCU, he picked up the win, 2 innings, no hits. Against Ole Miss, 3 innings, 1 hit. Overall, the NCAA's 3-0. He's got a save and an ERA of 0.00. Breaking ball in for a strike. Tyler Campbell, the number 8 hitter, the third baseman.
He only hit 105 off it. He usually works out pretty well.
0-1 to second, waiting, and Cogswell throws him out. Keep an eye tonight. The 2 second basemen playing tonight are outstanding. Cogswell and Swanson make just about every play.
Yeah, Cogswell finished off that great night from Waddell last night with a nice play over in the hole to end that ball game.
And now Carl Ellison, the catcher. They're looking for a hit from their catchers. They haven't had one. The Vanderbilt backstops. Oh for 21. What he did in the first College World Series game, though, that Vanderbilt played defensively was outstanding.
Yeah, and what's been a very kind of a clinic on blocking balls in the dirt. If you're watching the College World Series, really across the board, Ellison's kind of been the ringleader of it all with how good he's been at just deadening balls time after time.
0-2. Lewicki, 95, and locked in.
Pretty good work by Artie Lewicki. Now we'll see if Virginia's offense can get to work. 4, 5, 6 due up for the Cavs. Joe McCarthy will lead it off.
Here I come, you're gonna wish you never took me on. Get ready, 'cause here I come, going down, next round, ready.
Without question, the goal of everybody is to walk away with the NCAA College World Series trophy. Vandy on top 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning, and we want to take a look at the Capital One Cup standings, updating them as the teams compete for a combined $400,000 scholarship donation from Capital One. What you don't see there after the top 5, especially on the men's side, given that we're at the College World Series and Vandy and Virginia competing. If Virginia wins the College World Series, they will jump over everybody, and they will win the cup.
Happened last year. It happened again. UCLA last year won the College World Series. Allowed the UCLA men to win the Capital One Cup.
Notre Dame won the College Cup men's soccer. They were the runner-up in lacrosse. That's why they're where they are. And here's Tony Bennett. Kevin Stallings here last night. So Bennett shows up tonight. Vandy and Virginia, hoop coaches in the house. Brian Boland helped the Virginia men's team win the tennis championship in 2013. Part of the 20 that Virginia has won as NCAA titles go. Oregon, you saw they were second in the cup standings. They won the indoor and the completed outdoor track. Oregon is always great at track. Here's a called strike. It didn't work for Joe McCarthy. He had almost let go of the bat.
I think there's a good reason why he almost let go of the bat. That one's way down. Didn't let go. That was a good save right at the end by McCarthy. Ooh, come on back.
3-2 to the right fielder. That one misses, and it's a walk. First one issued by Fulmer after going 1-2-3 in the first.
See how they decide to play it here. Fulmer quick to home plate. Difficult to run on McCarthy. The best base stealer on the team over there, 11 of 12 on the year. Fisher, the sandwich pick this season. They have called upon him to bunt a handful of times in this College World Series.
Down the left field line, it's going to get into the seats. It's not an easy gauntlet to get through. 3, 4, 5, 6, the way they've been hitting Virginia. Pappy, McCarthy, Fisher, and Towns. 12 big runs batted in during the NCAA tournament. Up 2-1.
Change up right there from Fulmer, and that one he kind of pushed. The one to end the last inning was good, got over the top, had a really good finish to it. That one kind of pushed. That's when you see it flail away. Tim Corbin looks on, and talking to Tim before the game, the one thing he did talk to Carson Fulmer about is maybe holding a little something back today for a little bit later on, relying on a little movement early.
Bottom of the strike zone. He's getting that call at the knees. And the count evens up 2-2.
See Fisher turn around and ask, is that as low as you go? Just out of our K-zone box.
McCarthy goes. This one to second. Swanson to second. Got him. What a play by Dansby Swanson. And Brian O'Connor's coming out to talk with the second base umpire very quickly. That was a close play. Billy Van Raphorst is the umpire out there.
Well, we'll see what the replay says, but Dansby Swanson on display again. Just a great play to go to his left, and then the nerve to try and get the lead runner, and it looks like McCarthy got in there probably ahead of that throw.
This is the old Major League Baseball transfer. Did he ever have control of it? That was close, but the transfer from Condi is what a lot of people here are moving about.
Yeah. And I would say that's the play at second itself, whether he beat it or not, was debatable. I don't think he secured that ball well enough on the transfer. That's a break for Vanderbilt.
I think it surprised McCarthy a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think McCarthy thought on a ball like that they'd be going to second base. We saw it last night where they didn't get the out, but tonight it's another example. The middle infielders really knowing each other. A lot of times you see action in a ground ball, the automatic thought is to go to first base. That time, because Swanson and Condi have such a good knowledge of each other, Swanson knew he'd be there.
I don't think we're selling the play that Swanson made enough.
The thing I'm a little surprised is that Condi kind of hung in there a little too much. I think because McCarthy's bearing down on you, I think you got to play it a little more like a first baseman and really make sure that the throw beats you. And if not, you can clear and try and get Fisher at first base. But a break for the Commodores.
For the baseball fan watching the College World Series, the only instant replay that is used at the College World Series are on fair and foul balls and home runs. Other than that, there's no way for the coach to challenge a play, and that looks like it's going to change. This ball is driven deep to left field. Reynolds goes back in the sunshine on the track, makes the play, and Fisher goes back to first. Kenny Towns gave that one a ride.
Well, Kenny Towns continues to have really good swings in this College World Series Finals. He hit a couple balls last night, extremely hard. Looks like, is that a changeup he gets? Yeah. Righty on right. He hits it about as good as you can in this ballpark. Ryan Reynolds gets turned around a little bit out there, but is able to haul it in, and Kenny Towns.
That naturally segues into next year. There'll be new baseballs used at the college level, which are supposed to travel 20-25 feet more. That's a home run next year.
I would be bouncing around in a bullpen right now.
It's certainly been one of the top line issues at TD Ameritrade, the lack of home runs, and that ball would have been out had they been using that newer ball that has lower seams on it, and therefore the friction against it flying through the air will be a lot less.
So there's the difference. On the right is the current baseball, and then on the left is the one that they'll go to next year. Much more similar to the Pro Ball. The core stays the same, so really the only thing that changes is the seams. Damani Leach, Managing Director of Championships and Alliances at the NCAA, came on last week with us, and that was very open about that. Talk a little instant replay. I'm with you, Robbie. I think that's coming too.
They called the balk on Fulmer.
Here's what happens, okay? Carson Fulmer against Stanford in the Super is he's got a great balk move, but the reality is it's a balk. And when you start scouting guys, this is the one thing that you're telling umpires when you go out. So there was a discussion, I guarantee already, with Scott Irby. Watch the knees. So he's going to come set. Now watch the knees break before he spins. So both of them go, and it is a balk. The front knee goes, the back knee goes. The issue with Fulmer, and I think this is the one thing where Tim Corbin talks about, trying to have him settle down a little bit early with the fastball. It's that too. If you're going to pick a time during the game to try to go to it, I don't know if I do it in the second inning.
Fisher in scoring position with great speed. LaPriest, the DH, is up. Behind 0-1. That one sails high, 1-1. You kind of hold that bullet for a little while?
Yeah, I mean, for a time that you really have to pick somebody off. But the reality is, he's going to, I mean, the book's out now, and it's fairly blatant. You got to tone it down a little bit because you don't need that much movement to get a flinch on first base.
Ellison held that one for a while, waited for the home plate umpire, Travis Katzenmeyer's call.
And the reason that knee will get a base runner is because if they're stealing the base, a lot of times the first thing they'll key on is that front knee. And if it bends like that, that means he's going home, except the guys that really have a good balk move like he does. But caught in this case.
They call it a balk move for a reason.
That's right.
2-2. $17 RBIs on the season for LaPriest, sitting .351. 10 doubles and a homer. Carson Fulmer tries to navigate his way through the second inning.
Staying hard with him here, Kyle. It's interesting. If you look at the way the outfield is playing, LaPriest, they are really shaded around to the opposite field. Reynolds over there kind of playing shallow and on the line. Norwood way over in left center field. So might give you an idea to the scouting report and how they plan to attack him. Thought maybe a changeup in that spot. They've stayed hard with LaPriest.
Late on that fastball, and it goes into the seats.
I think sometimes too, I mean, we see the way the outfield is positioned, and the infield is shaded that way too. Connie's pushed a little bit over towards third base, and Dansby Swanson, the second baseman, is way towards the middle. But the hitter's swing is going to tell you what you ought to do next. And when I see two swings like that from the velocity we've seen, there's room inside. I mean, if you come in with that fastball and stick it inside, I think it's an out right here.
Back at him, he went with his bare hand. Swanson, tough play, throws it offline. Wheel has to go get it. And men are on first and third. Dangerous play from Fulmer there.
Yeah, another really good play by Swanson here. A dangerous play because he probably wasn't going to be able to get LaPriest no matter what. Yet he really works hard to get around this ball and get some momentum. Handles a tough hop and just cannot get enough on that throw as LaPriest is kind of good out of the box there and getting down the line in a hurry. Good play by Wheel over there at first to be able to knock it down, to keep that runner at third base with 2 outs. You see him right away turn to see if Fisher had any ideas.
Now Brandon Downs. LaPriest, 5 of 6 stolen bases. He's at first base. That one blocked by Ellison. No advance.
That guy is such an advantage to have on the plate, because on the mound you don't have to eliminate anything from your mind. If it's an 0-2 count, you don't mind blocking or bouncing the breaking ball because you know what Ellison is going to do behind the plate. From a receiving standpoint, the hands are really soft. He's going to get you some more strikes during the course of the game just because of the way he receives it. He will block everything.
Called strike. Vandy led 1-0 in game 2 last night, and it was tied in the third inning, 1-1 after that. They got outscored 6-1 and a Virginia 7-2 victory. Another good job by Ellison as he looks around.
You know, it's one thing to block him, and that's huge, obviously, with a runner on third in this spot, but both of those balls went about an inch away, just right in front of him, so it doesn't give Laprise any chance to move up. Keeps the force in order, and it's just been time after time for Ellison this entire College World Series.
Good pitch, 2-2.
Booney talking about the move that Ellison has, and I think it's key to see what he does in the top half. So watch the top half. The top half's going to round, and that's key. But look at the arms, how close they are into his body. So anything in that spot is going to deaden it. The top half is aimed down towards the plate, so that deadens it. And the arm's got to tuck all the way in. If your arms get out away from you, sometimes that ball can sneak through. That's textbook.
40 runs batted in on the season for Downs. Count goes full. Wahoo Nation rises to its feet. How about the guy on deck and the hits he's come up with? Robbie Coleman, the catcher, the number 9 hitter. Will he get a chance? Swing and a miss. And that'll end the inning. No runs across, but a pretty good threat. They strand 2 as Downs strikes out. Third strikeout in the game for Carson Fulmer. Way outside the zone. Heading to the third, 1-0.
That thing is out of here. A 3-run shot for Detweiler. Goes fishing up high. Strike 3 call. And he goes to right. Home run, Montase. First pitch. Fly.
Memorable moments. That was at Rosenblatt. In 2009 was the last time we had a Game 3 played at the College World Series. 10, 11, 12, 13, all 2-0 and out. Will be the hero tonight. Vandy up 1-0. Back to the top of the order for Dansby Swanson, and a little different 2 innings. One with already Lewicki on the mound. He went 1-2-3. 6 men came to the plate in the first, including Swanson, who led it off with a single. If you're just joining us, Josh Sborz started, lasted 1 inning. Artie Lewicki came on to start the second. And appears to be very much in control.
He looks like right now, if you told him to close his eyes and you told him where the spot was, he would hit it.
He'd hit it.
I mean, it's so simplified when Lewicki goes through it, and at times it's coming in there at 95 miles an hour with a big time breaking ball behind it.
And here comes that big time breaking ball. Ooh.
Changed it up and went with the fastball.
Thought he was going to break it out on him there. They're spotting up that heater.
Here we go. Can I get one on deck, please?
Virginia 53-15 this year. The most games they've ever won in the season, 56. That was in 2011. But what a job Brian O'Connor has done to routinely have this team in the tournament. Swing and a miss. He jammed him high and tight.
Away, 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 and then yeah, a little 2-seamer that just takes off out of his hands. Some movement on this one. Swanson reacts, thinks it's over the middle. And that's the one thing that Lewicki can do. We've seen the 2-seam fastball movement on the outside part of the plate, but this one, if you started in or third, it's going to take off and run.
$14 of his 17 have been in the strike zone. That one misses. Lewicki had off-season arm surgery in August of 2012. He came back in early April of that year and has really refined himself and become probably their best arm out of that bullpen. And they have a closer, Howard, who's the best in the business. This one down the line and right. Foul ball, barely. Rhett Weissman gave that one a ride.
Well, Rhett Weissman, who we touched on, has been hitting sixth the entire College World Series, moved up to that 2-hole, has had a lot of good at-bats, gives one a ride down the corner here. As you can see, just about 6-8 inches foul there.
A little BP fastball.
Yeah.
I don't think it's changeup. He'll take a little bit more off of it, but that 89, the fastball from Lewicki's been 93 to 95. You can see the reaction of Weissman. That's enough just to get him out front.
2-2 slider in on him, and he pulls it to the only place he was going to hit it. I want to remind everybody, while we're here on ESPN, you can also watch ESPN.com for inside access, unique camera angles, including the live K-Zone during our finals here in our last game. So watch ESPN.com for a different look at Game 3 of the College World Series. Towns is under it, makes the play.
And there he went back to the more conventional 94-mile-an-hour fastball. But that BP fastball is something that can be effective when you get the sense a hitter's really gearing up for your good fastball. Maybe in a hitter's count, he threw it 2-1. Sometimes on the first pitch, if you feel like a guy's really going to gear up for that fastball, just take a little off.
It makes that next fastball even better.
Absolutely.
Slow him down, speed him up.
Weissman missed a double by 6 inches, and his 2 at-bats have resulted in 2 foul ball pop-outs. Now Reynolds, who walked in the first, ended up getting caught stealing. He's a switch hitter. He is very athletic.
Very good.
And very good. 22 hits in the tournament, the most. He can dunk a basketball. High school, he hurt his shoulder his senior year, and he missed the early part of that senior season. There weren't a lot of people that were in on Brian Reynolds. It's a pretty impressive story for the team from Vanderbilt to find him. Didn't play on those select teams, those state teams. Didn't play travel baseball. Came to a camp. So wow, this guy can actually hit.
Played in every game since he showed up on campus.
Yeah, and as a freshman, he's one of the guys you look at in this College World Series and kind of jumps out and you say, whoa, that guy's going to play in the big leagues someday. And it's just a freshman. It's amazing to think that a lot of people weren't on him.
Switch hitter, I think the power is going to continue to come. We've seen the defense out in left field. The defense is very good.
Should get one a hit, 3-1. Nope, ball 4. I think the other big issue for parents who are watching with kids that are young and growing up and playing baseball is that the idea that college programs only look at select teams and travel teams, they're not above finding somebody that can hit anywhere.
I think it's the best part about it is you don't have to do that.
Right.
I mean, if you can play, you can play. And sometimes it's better if you don't do all that. You see guys like Reynolds that show up, and then that jump when they get to this level is an even bigger jump.
Yeah, and when they're really athletic, there's so much room in there for improvement when they do get to college and start focusing on it. That
John Norwood, after all the base running, caught stealing run from Swanson, he came up and delivered a single. Batting cleanup tonight, new lineup. given the frustration that Tim Corbett and Vanderbilt have experienced with this excellent pitching from Virginia.
Keep an eye on the move from the mound. It's a good one from Lewicki, one of the better moves to first base on the team.
Reynolds 13 steals on the season. Behind 0-2. That'll be a long night for Vanderbilt if Lewicki's getting that.
Yep. Because he's good enough from a control standpoint that if he's getting it, he's going to stay there.
Yep.
But
he tried.
He did try, and you get the call
yes.
if the movement from Coleman isn't the way that it was. Watch the difference between Coleman receives a pitch and Ellison receives a pitch like that. If you jab at it and go get it, there's no way you're going to get that call. Ellison's body, watch the movement of the hand. Watch right there. That movement, if you're going to go out and get it, like there's no chance you're going to get that call. For Ellison, the body just slides out. See if that makes a difference over the course of the game. Sorry. I jumped you on that one.
No, it's exactly the point. I mean, and I feel like I've seen it a lot in this College World Series. The umpires have shown if you can demonstrate you can command the ball just off the plate an inch or two, they're going to give it to you. So as a catcher, you've got to know if your pitcher can really command that, get to that spot so it doesn't appear as though you're reaching.
And move your body a little bit instead of your arm a little bit, because if the body moves, you're catching it in the middle of your body. That's the one you're going to get more.
Boy, he is close to that strike zone. And he's had those called strikes tonight, and that begins to develop some frustration from a pitcher and a catcher. Longtime pitching coach Carl Kuhn over there. Safe. Dives back in safely. "17 steals has tied the College World Series record. Remember, the rest of the teams combined had 13. Close, 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 close.
From the other side of the bag, he's out.
Kyle, there's a look at the good move. Just in. Happy tried to sell it. Quick feed on the mound, though, for Lewicki.
2 outs, 2-2. Another throw over.
Didn't tag him. You never tagged him. You never tagged him.
I don't think he ever touched him, or at least in the eyes of the first base umpire, there was no tag.
Willie Mays Hayes on the way back.
Yeah.
Well, he did tag him, but his hand may have been in. Scott Irby and Mike Pappy engaging in some dialogue over there.
That'll get your attention as a base runner over there. Okay, that's a real move.
2-2 coming. Two-seamer misses on the inside. The count goes full to Norwood. Coaching staff loves the potential that Norwood has. Raw skills, power, he's got speed, great arm in the outfield. Ball 4, Reynolds to second base. Pretty good patience. Both Reynolds and Norwood walk.
Back-to-back walks for Lewicki, who coming into this ballgame had 11 on the year.
Xander Wheel walked in the first inning. That was issued by Josh Sborz. So both Reynolds and Norwood hitting .34 tonight as part of the changed up Tim Corbin lineup have been on base twice. Now a chance for Wheel to bring in another run. Once again, center fielder down, shaded towards left. Called strike 2. A couple of off-speed pitches on the corner or just off. Lewicki looks for his third strikeout of the night. Vanderbilt hitters seem to have a real understanding of the strike zone.
Yeah, they don't leave it. And if Lewicki can get that call just off the plate, it is a pitch that Vandy will routinely lay off. It's important to command that part of the zone.
Straight up and playable. Downs, the center fielder, calls off Pinero. Xander Wheel 0 for his last 13. Sun begins to set here in Omaha. We're heading to the bottom of the third in a close one.
We're so happy to have a hometown boy from Council Bluffs be here. Brian O'Connor.
Played for the 1991 Creighton Blue Jays. Omaha, I'd like to see him win College World Series.
He is on the statue that's in front of the stadium out here. That's why I'm basically rooting for the team tonight.
The story goes that one of the faces in the statue is a likeness of mine, and you know, it's kind of neat. The sculptor that was hired to do the project had contacted my father and asked for celebration photos, faces of me growing up. When I bring my kids back here for games, or I'm sure someday down the road, grandkids, you know, you'll be forever in the statue that's in front of the College World Series.
Well, not only Brian O'Connor's immediate family here in Omaha, but I was talking to him before the game, and he said everyone that he's ever met in his life, he feels like from high school to college, immediate family. They have drove anywhere from 8 to 15 hours to be here. Every coach that he has ever had. He even joked and said there's probably not an O'Connor in the entire country who's not here, and including coaches Paul Mainieri, who he coached with at Notre Dame, now the LSU head coach, and Jim Hendry, who coached him at Creighton. And he actually spoke with Mainieri before the game yesterday, and he said, you know, he's almost like a father figure, like a brother, and he said, you know what, you guys were the better team that game one, and I have 100% confidence you're going to win the whole thing. He said, you know, I knew that, but hearing it from him, it just made me feel a little better.
Always good to get affirmation, especially from people you respect so much, and he certainly respects both those guys, Henry and Mainieri. Bottom three, Carson Fulmer back to work, and the first pitch to Robbie Coleman is in there for a strike.
How about a .745 winning percentage at Virginia in 11 years? That ain't good?
Especially given what it was when he showed up.
Oh, man.
The turnaround's incredible.
I think it would give hope to other places, too.
Sure. Absolutely.
It's undermined that powerful Stanford program out west, though. The coaches will tell you that for a long time, 1-1 lifted towards the seats and will get out of play. But Kyle, you can obviously speak to this. For a long time, those kids that these schools go after, they were kind of heading towards one direction. And they believe that Virginia and Vandy now are an option.
Well, and I think it's been cool to see a few others. I mean, Rice, the growth of Rice, and what you saw, and that really started in the early to mid-'90s with Wayne Graham. North Carolina's real similar to that. I mean, there's been some similar programs that have had a great run that are great academic schools. Carson Fulmer back at it with that good slider. We've talked about it, but I think the similarities between these two guys, the approaches, But what they've done with two programs that were in very similar spots when they both showed us, pretty amazing.
Yeah, I spoke with Carl Kuhn earlier today, and we discussed the whole debate that parents have, value of an education, and how these two schools obviously are very high level, prestigious, expensive schools. Does it hurt? He said, well, Stanford used to be the only option for these kids. Now you come here, and if you can get the kid that then gets drafted and gets the $1 million, $2 million signing bonus, then that goes back to the advantage of the Virginias and the Vanderbilts and the Rices of the world.
The best advice that I ever got when I was getting recruited is Dean Stotzer at the time was a recruiting coordinator, said go where you would want to be if baseball doesn't work out. And I think it's one of the keys when you're going to school is obviously the baseball component for these kids is massive because of how good they are. But that second piece, regardless of how good they are right now, there might be 2, maybe 3 guys on this field that make enough money when they're playing the game of baseball that they don't have to worry about anything else. And that might be high, given injuries and everything else. I mean, the school component should always be the driver.
Surrounded by West Coast baseball guys up here. We got a Stanford and a USC Trojan.
We've gotten along pretty well. I'm surprised. We haven't really thrown anything at me. This has been fairly comfortable.
Well, I grew up in the house of a Stanford alum, my dad, of course. So I've learned to suppress a lot of the anger I have towards the Cardinal.
Okay.
It's growth. It's maturity.
Good job.
Yeah, you're showing us something here.
You are. I'm proud of you.
You have that reputation of being childlike in so many ways. Yet you're showing a maturity about you tonight. Fulmer thought he had strike 3 there to Brandon Cogswell. Nine for 19 at the College World Series, and he fouls that one off. These are good battles. Cogswell and Fulmer, good battles.
That time trying to sneak the fastball in on Cogswell's hands.
All right, here we go.
Yay, yay. Sure you did. Yes, you did. You caught that. 3-2. Center field, and Norwood took one step back and is able to come back in and make the play. Now we talk about two programs, and you start at the top, and certainly the turnaround that Tim Corbin's enjoyed. Look at what happened on the left side of the screen. They had 3 postseason appearances from 1886. Didn't come to the World Series once, and what happened since he's gotten there. And while Corbin is 10 for 12 in postseason appearances, O'Connor is 11 for 11 with Virginia. And it does so much for the schools, the conferences. And the ACC has got 1 College World Series title, and that was in 1955. So ACC country tuned into seeing if the Cavaliers can get it done tonight. Panero, Norwood stayed up for him. 1-2-3 inning for Carson Fulmer. We're 1/3 of the way through. We've had 1 run and 3 hits. Vanderbilt on top.
We know the same teams can't make it to Omaha every year. But don't be surprised if you see the same fans. If you root for LSU, Texas, Nebraska, or whomever, it doesn't matter because you're still going to come. Pull out your grill. Celebrate the right way. Good food, friends, baseball.
Omaha. Can't blame the people for showing up year after year. It is a terrific city. People are friendly. The stores are delighted to have the business. The restaurants are outstanding. And the weather tends to cooperate, even in the Midwest. Only one night that we have to deal with some bad storms.
Yeah, I've dominated some food while I've been here. Local restaurants.
To the fourth inning of a winner-take-all College World Series game, Vanderbilt and Virginia. It's 1-0. That run came in the first inning. Dansby Swanson led things off for Vandy with a single. Then they ran their way around the bases. It's Condi's been moved down in the lineup tonight as he popped that one out of play. But the relationship between the city of Omaha and college baseball is similar to what we experienced in August with Williamsport and Little League. They own the event and they take a great deal of pride in it and always trying to do things to improve it. As Kyle talked about when we spoke with the director of the championship, Dumani Leach, earlier this week, they're not going to just sit and say TD Ameritrade's good. They got the ball changing. There's a good chance you see the items that are available at the ballpark down the road change as well.
2-2.
We talk a lot about technology and making it a more fan-friendly experience. And it was not an easy decision to leave Rosenblatt. There had been some thought about renovating, tearing down over there and rebuilding. 2-2 slider, slow roller. Lewicki off the mound quickly, and he fires to first for the out. Well, as we say so long from Omaha in a couple of hours, we remind everybody that early in the morning Thursday, ESPN rolls with the Wimbledon tournament. Then later at 11, World Cup soccer will begin. That huge matchup, United States and Germany, a virtual play-in game as well. Draw gets them both in. And at 7, ESPN will have the NBA draft. Don't miss a moment Thursday. Catch all the action. It's also available on watchespn.com. And there you see the history of Rosenblatt honored here at TD Ameritrade. I'm trying to find out, what do you think Brian O'Connor felt about the move to Ameritrade, having seen every game that basically was ever played at Rosenblatt?
I think there was a lot of people that spent a lot of time at the old place that, you know, had mixed feelings on it. But when you get inside, I mean, the place is gorgeous. We can talk about the way the ball flies and the way the home plate's set up. And there's some things that I think if you went back and did it, you'd probably change. But the reality is it's, I mean, it's gorgeous when you come in, and it looks like just a small big league ballpark. Yep. And the setting for these guys, the feeling is still the same when they walk in as it was at Rosenblatt. I mean, there's a sense of awe when you walk into this place for the first time.
Yeah, and you really get a sense that the NCAA and this event takes nothing for granted. They are proactive and want to do everything they can to continue to improve this event, one that's already very special.
Well, what had happened too, I mean, when the agreement was signed to build this place, it was previously it was a series of 5-year extensions with the NCAA and the city of Omaha up at Rosenblatt. This got 25 years, and so it's been here since 1950. Now it's guaranteed to be here at least another 21 years. That's a massive deal for this city, what it brings in the economy and everything every year.
2-2 Coleman, shallow, and it's going to drop. Downs had been playing so shallow, and Panero, you didn't think there was a way to get a ball to drop in there, but Ro Coleman does so.
Well, back-to-back good at-bats from Ro Coleman. Worked the count full before finally flying out to left field his first time up. Here, ball in on his hands, just kind of pulls those hands in and dumps it out into center field as Downs is playing very shallow, but the patience, eventually gets a pitch he can handle enough, and a base hit for Ro.
The spot in the lineup and the way that Campbell's been swinging the bat, it wouldn't surprise me to see hit and run at some point during this at bat.
Safe.
Yeah, and Coleman, good speed, but hasn't been a great base stealer this year. So, and when you add in Lewicki's outstanding move to first base, I'm with you.
Campbell, since being inserted in the lineup for Xavier Turner, who was suspended for unspecified NCAA violations, has really been a big part of their success. Defensively, he hasn't made any mistakes, and offensively, he's come up with a handful of big hits for him.
One of the real good stories of the College World Series has been Tyler Campbell.
He's going, and he's fouled it off.
Booney was talking earlier about the speed of Campbell, but just 4 of 9 on the year in stolen bases, and so I think in this spot, because of that, that's why you're gonna, of Ro Coleman. That's why you're gonna run with cover. It was a hit and run, but a tough pitch to hit at the plate for Tyler Campbell. You get that fastball in your hands. Tough to keep it fair, but at least you protected the base runner.
There's an awful lot of risk reward in the Corbin offense, the way he runs it, and clearly the rewards have won out. They can run into big innings. They can kind of run themselves out of big innings, or what feels like could be big innings.
What you like too in a game of this magnitude, that approach hasn't changed. I mean, double steal earlier, and I know that Reynolds gets thrown out of third base, but that's the only run so far when that ball goes out into center field. So you like that the approach has stayed consistent in the biggest game of the year.
And pregame, I guarantee it was something that was driven home. Coming off a loss, hey, go out and play aggressive. Play our game tonight. And so far, they've pushed the envelope.
Safe. Dirt. Coleman's not going anywhere, and Lewicki's pitch count continues to climb. The 8th different team from the SEC to reach the finals. The Commodores of Vanderbilt, we saw Paul Maneri. LSU's got 6 College World Series titles. South Carolina 2, Georgia 1. Here's a look at the LSU head man who was at Notre Dame with Brian O'Connor. Right field, and it's getting into the seats.
And Ro Coleman's over there working to try and get a jump still at first base. Those Vanderbilt hitters trying to time it up as you look at those 7 teams from the SEC the last 7 seasons.
Pretty good run there.
Yeah.
Mike Slive, the commissioner of the SEC, came into town yesterday. Larry Templeton, former AD at Mississippi State, now with the SEC. They take their baseball serious in that area of the country.
Safe. Coleman just dodged back. But that area of the country, while it's been dominant, what we talked about with Virginia and Vanderbilt, other areas of the country are beginning to take it a lot more seriously.
But Indiana
hired a new coach.
Tracy Smith, now former head coach at Indiana, the new head coach at Arizona State. If you'd said 10 years ago Indiana was going to play in the College World Series and be a national seed, there's no way anybody believed it.
Safe. Coleman back. How about Louisville and the
absolutely
continued success that they've built there?
Louisville, Nebraska. The Nebraska team has now played in this series 3 times. Darren Erstad had that club back to a regional this year. That's a good lead, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
That's a great lead. To where you keep getting moves and you keep getting back.
On the ground is short. Charity Hopper Pernera to second for one. Cogswell turns the double play. When we come back, that guy, Mike Pappy, the number 3 hitter, 11 home runs, comes to the plate. And last night, in the middle of a controversial play, as he plowed over Tyler Campbell. Booed the first time he came up tonight. 1-0 Vanderbilt over Virginia. Carson Fulmer said he chose Vanderbilt for the great academic and athletic balance. He's getting it in the classroom, and now he's getting it here. We asked him what he thought it would feel like if they could win the College World Series.
We just spend every day together. It's special. I mean, we go to night dreaming about it every night, and we have Omaha posters all over our room, and we're gonna do it. That's for sure.
Get a little feel for what type of kid Carson Fulmer is.
He's a really neat kid. And you better be careful, too, because he's a black belt in Taekwondo. So you don't go popping off to Carson when you roll down there either. Intense kid, but a really cerebral kid at the exact same time.
Says his roommates Adam Ravenel, the great relief pitcher, Dansby Swanson, the second baseman, Jared Miller as well. Personality guys and very good baseball players. Pappy, center field. It'll be playable. Norwood is there to make the catch. Pappy 0 for 2. So who's going 1? Who's going 2? Thursday, ESPN brings you the NBA draft. Who will be the MVPs of tomorrow? Be there from the start. Thursday at 7 on ESPN. It's presented by State Farm. Saw an interview Andy Katz did with Jabari Parker today. He and Wiggins seem to be the sort of 1-2 choices, and Andy said, do you think you'll be picked first or second? And Jabari said second. He said that the team picking first has not expressed any interest in him. He hasn't had the conversations that he's had with the team picking second.
Keep your eye on a trade, though. Keep your eye on a trade in the next 24 hours. Some maneuvering going on in that.
Wait, is this inside? Is this inside or inside?
Who's your source? Can you reveal your sources?
I cannot.
Okay.
Should we come on camera? Get you a single shot?
No.
No? Okay.
No, it's not necessary. Just
start on me and then push to me.
I thought maybe, but that sounded informed.
We could have some draft day action tomorrow with some you know.
Yeah, what's all? What do we got?
Yeah, you got the Sixers here. You got Celtics.
I think the Sixers are going to make something happen on.
Okay, now we're digging a little deeper. Wheel flips to Fulmer, and McCarthy is out. So you just said, I think we are going to have a little action. We're going to make
we was just we're the world. We're going to have some action.
Oh, okay, because I didn't exactly get that. I was kind of sticking with Sixers. We.
No. I mean, I feel that way a little bit, but no.
There wasn't
in that
intended
case,
that way right there.
no. In that case, it was just we like. We're going to have some action. We basketball fans. We got action tomorrow.
That's most people, when referring to the world, say we in that situation. So that makes total sense.
About face. That was interesting to know that you look at the global NBA world as it's going to be active tomorrow.
The editorial we.
I look forward to the texts I will receive tomorrow when the plethora of trades start to go down. We've got movement in the draft. See,
I got you.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of movement here. Only 4 hits in Virginia. We talked all about their offense. Fulmer's doing a great job of keeping them off the bases. Fisher is out by half a step. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. Carson Fulmer's retired 7 in a row. We'll talk with Brian O'Connor, ask him what he sees from Fulmer.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Vanderbilt up on Virginia 1-0 as we head into the top of the 5th. I'm here with Virginia Head coach Brian O'Connor, and coach, you have the lone hit against Carson Fulmer. How do you get to him?
Well, he's doing a nice job of mixing in his changeup against our left-handed hitters, and he's keeping the ball down in the zone. And you know, we just got to keep grinding it out and hopefully put some hits together. We've had a few opportunities, but we just got to hopefully capitalize in these middle innings.
When you guys went for the change, but Artie Lewicki in for Josh Sborz, why the change, and what do you like from Artie Lewicki?
Well, we needed strikes, you know, and Josh walked a couple of their batters in the first inning, and in a game like this, you need to throw the ball over the plate, and we knew that we'd get that from Artie, and so hopefully he can give us a couple more innings here.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jess Mendoza. And you're looking at the big number 34, Artie Lewicki.
And a big double play to end last inning, so you don't have to start with the top of the order and Dansby Swanson to lead off this inning.
You get the catcher, Carl Ellison. He was the third guy that he faced in his first inning of work, and he struck him out. Little action out there with some bodies moving around in that Virginia bullpen. There's a little activity in that Vanderbilt bullpen as well. Eggshell type game here with only 1 run scored and so much on the line. The winner gets the College World Series title. First time we've had a Game 3 winner take all at the College World Series since '09. 1-1 to Ellison. He squared to bunt, offered at it, now behind 1-2.
I like that he's staying with it.
Yeah.
Stay with that fastball until somebody else shows you the reason to go away from it. But the swings and the approach right now from Ellison, he's late on that fastball. You throw a breaking ball, give that bat a chance to catch up to it. Carl Kuhn peering on.
Still hasn't given up a run, earned or otherwise. And he got Ellison for the second time tonight.
Well, you could do that. The slider from Lewicki is really good, but I like where he threw it. If you're going to go off speed in that spot, there's no reason to try to throw it for a strike. So start it away, and then that action just continues to go away from the bat of Ellison. 87-mile-an-hour slider right there for Lewicki, and another strikeout.
And Ellison may eventually hit, but his value is what he's doing behind the plate.
Absolutely.
Now at the top of the order, this guy's a threat, Dansby Swanson. You see what he's done in the College World Series, 9 for 28. He's an extra base machine, 27 doubles on the year, which had him at the top of the NCAA ladder. Lewicki keeps that fastball in the outside corner. Again, right center field is wide open. This one is popped way up in the air, and it's out of play. Vandy went with that red, white, and blue uniform in game 1. Then they went to the black and gold, and they're back with the traditional black and gold tonight. On the ground to third. Good hop for Towns, who sets himself, and he throws over to first for the out. Kickoff for the USA-Germany game is tomorrow noon Eastern time. A lot of people wondering exactly when the kickoff is going to be. Start the pregame from Brazil at 11 and kickoff at noon. Not sharing. Hey. I had a spoon and everything. I wasn't going to slobber all over it. no share. Rhett Weissman center field. Brandon Downs under it. Quick inning for Artie Lewicki. We're settling in here. We'll talk with Tim Corbin when we come back. It is 1-0 in favor of the Commodores.
Well, Carson Fulmer has retired 7 straight batters as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Vanderbilt with a 1-0 lead. And Coach, you said before the game you expected Carson Fulmer to go out and compete. How do you like about the way he's competed so far?
I think overall he's really in a good mindset. He's competing well. His attack is good. He's changing speeds, changing rhythms, which is good for him because he is a power pitcher, but he has the ability to decelerate the ball. So far, so good.
As far as their starter goes, you were able to knock him out early, get to their bullpen, but it is a rested bullpen. What would you like to see from your hitters the rest of the game?
Well, we just need to get on base. I'd like to get the legs going if we can, but Lewicki's been tough so far. He's been able to decelerate the ball at times and throw fastballs up and in a little bit. So we'll do the best we can, try to get on base and make something happen.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie. And Carson Fulmer, the former closer. We talked all about the 28 hits and 15 runs at the top. He's given up 1 hit. Question for him is going to be how long can he be effective coming out of that role. He has thrown deep into games since he became a starter. His first start was April 19th against Arkansas. This is the guy that had been closing, and he went 6 innings and gave up no earned runs that night.
Yeah, that pitch count was starting to rise after the 3rd inning, but a couple clean innings now, and it's in a manageable position to where he could potentially get deep into this game.
Good pitch there to Towns. In the Oregon Regional, 8 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned, and a couple of walks. The Super Regional in Stanford, he gave up a career-high 4 earned runs. Ravenel and Stone are warming in the bullpen and just getting loose. But they were smoking hot, the Virginia bats. Good sell by Ellison. He was ready to throw it down to first.
I think the reaction there is because that pitch has been a strike to him. I mean, the way that Ellison moved, and it's off the plate, but it's been called a strike pretty consistently tonight. You could see the reaction of Fulmer on the mound was the exact same thing.
I liked Ellison's salesmanship of that, though.
Yeah, he came flying out of there. He couldn't wait to throw it around the horn.
Just don't throw it.
Norwood going back, and he is going to have room there as Towns drilled another one.
I think, and you heard Tim Corbin mention it. We were just talking to Jamie just a minute ago. What Fulmer's done a really good job of tonight, and I know that everything looks like it's max effort. It's actually dialed down a little bit. I mean, the velocity is very good, but what's got him in the past 3 starts has been about this time right here, because it just seems like the finish isn't quite there, and the slider rolls a little bit. We haven't seen that today.
Yeah, guys, Carson Fulmer, he told us in the Super Regionals that sometimes when he's going through a game, he actually gets stronger as the game goes on, and he described it as almost going kind of numb and kind of almost blacking out a little bit. He gets so focused, and as the game goes on, that's kind of when he picks up his steam.
Well, his last start, 4+, he threw 90 pitches, so he's at 68 now. And he's getting that call at the knees consistently to even the count 1-1 with Laprise. This is a playable ball. Campbell, easy out. Retired 9 in a row now. And it's got a little bit of a Waddell feel to it last night.
Well, and it's huge for Vanderbilt, who now, like Virginia, is pretty well set up into the bullpen, especially if he can pitch them through the middle innings. You've got Hayden Stone now, who's hot, who's had 3 days off after throwing a lot of pitches on Saturday, and Ravenel all set as we saw them kind of just starting to loosen down there the middle innings here.
I don't know if they were urged to loosen. I think that was just get up and get ready just in case. I think Kevin McMullen's slowing this one down just because he didn't like that last call. So Ravenel, the closer, on the right, Stone, the freshman, on the left. And Stone's run over the last month or so has been really good for Vanderbilt out of the bullpen. Another guy they can really rely on, could potentially push into the starting rotation next year. Ravenel, a 4th-round pick this year.
Fulmer's gotten 6 fly ball outs, 4 strikeouts, 4 ground outs. One of those strikeouts was to this guy, Brandon Downs. Well, he's just living at the knees, and he's getting those strike calls.
Well, what he's done, too, he's done a really good job. A lot of times Fulmer's ball will straighten out a little bit just because of velocity. That ball's got pretty good movement on the outside part to the right-hander, and he's been able to bring it back over the plate. That one's different. You can see when he really tries to let it go, that 4-seamer, he pulls it over there, but throws that 2-seamer over there. It's got good late action back. He lost his plant foot that time.
He's retired 9 in a row from the 2nd inning on. The strikeout to Downs. No one has reached base. Nearly got it by him, but Downs spoiled it. Virginia against the SEC. Of course, the conference that Vandy calls home. 3-5 in the tournament against them. That conference, they're 4-0 against all the other conferences.
There's the commissioner. Live looking on. SEC Network comes on next year. 75 baseball games on the network alone. It'll start this summer with football comes into play in August, and then plenty of baseball next year on the network.
Vandy's opening football game against Temple will be on the SEC Network August 28th. Looking for his 3rd consecutive 1-2-3 inning. The 3-2. Straight up. Will it be playable for Ellison? No.
Well, the previous pitch you saw Fulmer kind of start back to the dugout again, thinking he had a called 3rd strike again, but as K-Zone showed, it was up and in with that breaking ball, and really he missed his spot with the breaking ball. Wanted to go down away. It wasn't a great pitch. And typically, you're not going to get rewarded when you don't execute your pitch and you miss the K-zone.
Wicked pitch there. The slider gets him. Three straight 1-2-3 innings. He's retired 10 straight. And Carson Fulmer has Vanderbilt closing in on the school's first College World Series title. 6th inning coming up when we come back. 1-0 Commodores. Vanderbilt Stadium at Vandy football. The aerial view of the crowd, and it is a growing crowd as the folks out there putting blankets on, and you can see some of the guys. And Vandy women's tennis pumped to watch their Vandy baseball brothers dominate. Also viewing party in Charlottesville, Virginia, where tomorrow night they will greet the team, win or lose. As we head to the 6th inning in a good pitcher's duel. Artie Lewicki came on in the 2nd and has been lights out. Carson Fulmer all night long has been great. Number 3 hitter's Brian Reynolds. Couple of walks tonight. And to second base in the 3rd inning where he was stranded. Waited on that one, lifted it to left. Fisher going back, now turns, and he makes the catch. The most prestigious tennis tournament in the world is back on ESPN. The grass courts at the All England Club, once again hosting the world's best. Wimbledon early round coverage continues Thursday at 7 a.m. on ESPN, and then again at 11 a.m. on ESPN News. And so many people at 11 a.m. tuning into the World Cup tomorrow to see the outcome of the United States and Germany with the kick at noon Eastern time. But we got a championship to decide here tonight between Vanderbilt and Virginia for the College World Series title. John Norwood, fastball poured in for a strike at 93 miles an hour.
See the pitch count for Lewicki at 67. He threw 118 against Bucknell in the start in the regional, so he can continue to go deep. We will see Nick Howard at some point, the All-American closer and first rounder for Virginia, but Lewicki's been outstanding.
The final score last night, 7-2, was the largest margin of victory by any team at this year's College World Series. Handful of tight games and a ton of one-run games. So this is more true to form to what we have seen.
See if Lewicki comes back with another slider. That had more of a get me over look to it at 83 miles an hour. Now he might try to bury it, try to get the strike out of Norwood. We'll do that.
Well, and Norwood, though, throughout this College World Series and tonight has shown the discipline and the ability that he's really not going to leave the zone.
His bat stays in the zone a long time, too.
Oh. 3-2.
Look out, 3-2.
I mean, he has taken a number of pitches now, even with 2 strikes, that just been just off the plate, pitches that would normally get hitters to chase, and Norwood has routinely been able to lay off them. Not a guy with a lot of walks on the season, but the improvement throughout the year and late in the season has been outstanding.
There's some power there too with a couple of homers. This ball is fair. Norwood beats it out as it gets past Pappy. Now he recognizes it, and he's going to get into scoring position at second base. Kenny Towns had to wait on that ball at third base, and then he had to make a strong throw.
Yeah, and that's a couple times now in this final that we've seen Kenny Towns where he's had to put a lot on the throw, and he hasn't been as accurate. Clearly has to rush here on this slowly hit ball by Norwood. Last night we saw him get under one and kind of drift one over Pappy's head, this time in the dirt, and Pappy's not able to pick it. Norwood originally didn't recognize that the ball had gotten by. He was kind of asking for the safe call, but eventually recognized it and was able to get to second base.
First time in a couple of innings that Vanderbilt's had a man in scoring position. It's Andrew Wheel. Lewicki bears down and throws a first pitch strike. How many innings will Nick Howard be used tonight? Wheel looking for a big hit now to give Vanderbilt a 2-0 cushion.
Remember last night in a similar situation, Norwood on second base. Waddell was able to pick him off, and it was the second baseman really jockeying him there at second base. Pinero, the shortstop, well off. So if you're going to run, it's getting a feel from the pitcher and the second baseman Cogswell working you over. But he looks tonight like he's not intending to go anywhere. He's getting to his point, just sitting there.
And even when Cogswell backs off, he doesn't even grab the big secondary lead. He's staying put. How about Lewicki, though? He is bared down, throwing 3 straight strikes. Chin music there, forces Wheel to a knee.
Yeah. And I'd like to see Norwood working out there, acting as though he's going to, even if you're not intending to go, maybe you're not comfortable, a little gun shy from last night, but work and try and draw a throw. Try and get a piece of Lewicki's head.
So one thing you usually don't see is Vanderbilt base runners whose feet are not moving at all.
Especially a guy like Norwood, who's been so good at stealing bases this season.
He's got 17 of those. Cogswell peeks in, and then he'll back up. This time Norwood jumped off, and that one just fouled.
Got away with one there.
Yeah.
That was one in the approach from Xander Wheel trying to drive that ball the way. They just cut the bottom piece of the baseball, but that was a slider that just kind of hung there. Let's see if Nick Howard starts throwing a little bit harder, because that's the stuff that you can see from the side. You can see depth on a breaking ball. The depth starts to go away. That's when that breaking ball is going to get hit.
Good arm in center field from Downs. Fisher and McCarthy as well in left and right. Wheel up the middle, stopped by the second baseman Cogswell. He was positioned beautifully, and Norwood moves up to third base.
We saw it a few key times when Vince Conde was pinched to the middle, giant outs in game 1. This time Cogswell just in the right spot, so he's holding the runner on, gets back to his position but doesn't go too far, and this time just has to go a few steps. Norwood advancing easily to third base, but a big second out right there for Lewicki.
Now Vince Conde, who is struggling. We've certainly seen squeezes before to bring runs in, especially late. There are 2 outs. And Conde 2 for 23 at the College World Series.
But with 2 outs, the bunt for a hit is certainly on the table, and that at least will hold Kenny Towns, which gives you a little more room over there if you're Conde. The threat of that bunt has Towns playing in about even with the bag.
Been stuck at 1-0 since the top of the first inning. Conde, this is a tough play. Pinero slips, and it's 2-0 Vanderbilt. Two for 23. He delivers an infield single.
Well, there was going to be no play here for Pinero, even if he does stay on his feet, because of the hop of the ball and the speed of Conde. But maybe Towns being in and respecting the threat of the bunt, if he's back, this is probably a play that he can handle. Pinero gets there and sets his feet. He's got no play, though. There's no chance he's going to be able to get enough on this throw with Conde going down the line.
You know, it's just like base runners. They don't necessarily have to steal to have an effect on the game. It's the same way guys at the plate. You don't necessarily have to bunt, but if the other side has to respect it, it can change the way the whole defense plays.
I got time in the box.
Time was called before Lewicki threw the ball over to first. So Tim Corbin juggles his lineup, and he has gotten production from the top of it. And now he gets it from Vince Conde, who had been moved to the 6th spot. Conde with 15 steals and 2 outs, and Roe Coleman up, a candidate to go. Vanderbilt gets that big second run. That one is bounced, and a nice job by Coleman.
outstanding because Condi was looking to advance on that. He read that ball in the dirt, wanted to go, but because Coleman was able to just deaden it right in front, unable to move up, even here with 2 outs where you'd be willing to roll the dice a little bit.
Coleman center field. Downs was way in. Now he's got to go back, and he's able to make the catch.
Another Vandy run, and it scores on a ball that even if Pinero doesn't go down right here, I think Vince Condi is beaten out. Move Condi from the 3-hole to the 6-hole. Big RBI. 2-0 Vanderbilt.
It's like a dream come true.
I don't have to take a picture. I will see this, and it will never leave my mind.
Regardless of the outcome, it's going to be the last game of the year.
We came here for a reason, to bring a national championship back to Charlottesville.
It's special. We go to night dreaming about it every night.
You know, Carson Fulmer, with tears in his eyes, talks about how they dream about it every night. He is putting together a dream outing. Only 1 hit for Virginia. Vanderbilt's got 2 on the board. Artie Lewicki, the Virginia pitcher, 5 innings, 2 walks, and 3 Ks. As each of these teams looks for their first College World Series title. And a big inning here for Carson Fulmer. He has shut him down totally. 1 hit, no runs. He's retired the last 10 men he has seen. Only once tonight has Virginia had the leadoff man on in an inning. That was a McCarthy walk in the second. He starts with the number 9 hitter, Robbie Coleman. Fastball misses. In there for a strike. His velocity has consistently been 93, 94, 95 miles an hour.
Kyle, I think you made a great point last inning about him being able to kind of rein in some of that emotion tonight. You know, he pitches angry, max effort, but he's kind of reined it in enough, and I think it's gone a long way in helping him command the baseball. So his last start, it seemed like he gets a little too amped, and that can get in his way. 6 walks in his last start so far tonight. Been in command.
And the mentality is a closer's mentality, which is good to some extent.
But a big spot here to get that called strike with the number 9 hitter, Robbie Coleman up. There's the dangerous Brandon Cogswell on deck. Good job by Coleman. And the bulldog mentality that Fulmer has, he has gone to a 3-ball count 7 times, and only 1 of those has resulted in a walk. Good job by Robbie Coleman as he leads off the inning with a single as he turns around that 93-mile-an-hour fastball. And for only the 2nd time tonight, the leadoff man is aboard for Virginia.
And it turns the order over with a guy on first base. And you got Cogswell coming up 3rd time around, and it's a good pitch. And it's almost the exact spot that Fulmer wanted to throw it. But Robbie Coleman, that 9-hole has been very good to Virginia through this entire College World Series run. So leadoff man on, Cogswell coming up for the 3rd time, and Virginia back to the top of their order.
And now that he's getting up around 90 pitches, I think with a rested Vanderbilt pin, Hayden Stone, Ravenel, you might see now start to get heated up with some earnest should another base runner get on. At this point in the game, I don't think they'll go real long with Fulmer.
Pours in a fastball at 93 for a strike. Cogswell is a terrific contact hitter. Tonight he grounded out to second and he flew out to center. Danny Pinero, who's come up with some big hits for Virginia here at the College World Series, in the on-deck circle. Tyler Campbell in at third base. Look out.
Heads up, Jess.
Heads up, Jess.
With a ball.
Did she pull that down?
Yeah, once it was down, she picked it up.
Still got those skills.
Hey, sign it first, Jess.
0-2. Just foul. What pitch do you throw to get Brandon Cogswell out?
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, just quality at bat. He just seems to barrel everything up. And you're right, Carl. Kind of handles everything. And when he's gotten 2 strikes, it seems like he just zeroes in a little more. The approach gets a little better, really thinking the other way. And right on cue, Vanderbilt really shaded the other way, especially in the outfield.
Yeah, huge gap in right center field. Huge. Wow, what a pitch and what a take. That two-seamer, hard pitch for a righty to throw in on a lefty, nearly came back over the plate.
That's not easy to do. It's just not easy, especially for a guy that a lot of times is four-seam. That time really got through the two-seam, put it in the perfect spot. The reaction right there at Cogswell showed you everything you need to know.
1-2. On the ground, Swanson dives and makes the play. He'll go to first for the out. Wow, Dansby Swanson continues to play Gold Glove second base.
Yeah, another ball off the barrel here from Cogswell, but again, Swanson on display. And watch him dive here and get up. And if he kind of pauses and has the wherewithal to say, no, I can't get him at second, resets his feet. I know I've got time. And completes the play to first. A great play there at second.
You could almost see him thinking.
Yep.
In that spot, just take the out.
Yeah.
Take the out.
But it's like, get myself into position.
Right.
Ooh, no, it's not there. Take the out.
And that second run proves to be big, given the runner in scoring position for Pinero with 1 out. Happy and McCarthy on deck and in the hole for Virginia. Can Fulmer get through the 6th? One and one. You'd think that the beach balls were some type of tool that they use out there to warm up, but those are all the beach balls that have been collected.
Tell you the best thing about bringing the fences in 10 feet, if they do it, you wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
They'd fall between the stands and the fence. It'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, because a lot of the biggest pause in action at the College World Series are having to collect those things. Clean it up out there. Let's go.
Clean it up.
Don't change a thing.
Yes.
Keep the beach balls.
You know, I think 2-1 here. This is the spot we've seen Pinero throughout this College World Series really look to work the ball the other way. Big 6'5" guy, long arms. I think it's a time, man, work that fastball in. See if you can't crowd him a little bit, because he wants to hit the ball through the middle the other way, even ahead in the count.
Didn't get it, and it's 3-1. Coleman doesn't have great speed at second base, and given that Sborz was taken out, wonder if perhaps they would have pinch run for him. Pinero to right center field and a gap shot. Coleman's going to score easily. Pinero to second base. Throw to first. Not in time. An RBI for Pinero, and it's 2-1.
Well, just a great job here of Pinero. We've seen it all College World Series. He loves to work the ball through the middle in the opposite field. And a good job here making a big turn and making Vanderbilt in the outfield stop you and keep you from getting to second base. Norwood does a good job of cutting it off and keeping it first, but you just see that inside out swing. He's able to dump it in the right center. Excuse me. It was Weissman over there who cut it off and was able to get it back in. You saw the big turn there. If Weissman doesn't handle that cleanly, Pinero's in position to get to second base.
One thing you saw there that you haven't seen very much of, and that's the glove of Ellison go from one side of the plate to the other. They were trying to go fastball away. That ball snuck all the way back in, and it's a great approach right there by Pinero.
How much does Fulmer have left as he faces Mike Pappy, the number 3 hitter? And
the changeup's been a key pitch for him tonight against Pappy. So about 3 good ones to him. So you know that's in Pappy's mind.
Yes, you did.
Throw down to first. Sorry. A better throw, and Pinero would have been out.
Yeah, it's another changeup that just dips down out of the zone, and I actually think if Wheel can get back a little better, maybe he's in better position to kind of apply a tag there. If he's a little lighter on his feet there, moving his way back towards the base. Pinero just ahead of the tag.
I think Pappy kind of walking around that batter's box may have affected Ellison's ability to throw down. But by holding Pinero on and Swanson shaded up the middle, there's a big hole between second and first for Pappy. One and one, and you got to believe that Fulmer's starting to get tired.
He is in the last 3 starts. I mean, it's about the time of the game. It's been 4th, 5th, or excuse me, 5th, 6th, 7th inning that the stuff has started to change a little bit, and it's understandable. Getting close to the 100 pitch count. 3rd time around, I think Pappy's going to put a pretty good swing on something.
3 changeups now in a row.
Yeah.
Hayden Stone is ready in the Vanderbilt bullpen. Ravenel's number 12, Stone 32. 2 guys who have been very good.
It was the 3rd time around last night that this Virginia offense really got to Tyler Beatty. The approach this 3rd time around starting to look pretty similar.
Pappy has hit the ball during this College World Series tournament as hard as anybody, and he has hit it to the graveyard of right center field. If he were able to pull one, he'd probably have 2 or 3 home runs. Fulmer's now begging for strikes out there. He threw his head down in disgust. And I think that was seen by the Vanderbilt bench as well. So as a result, Scotty Brown's going to go out and talk to him.
This is where that competitive side can sometimes work against you.
Yep.
And that's why Scott Brown went out in that spot. There's not a lot of trips to the mound you're going to see in a 3-1 count. But the at-bat isn't over, and I think that's the reminder right here is back to the mindset earlier. Back to the mindset of maybe going 90%, 95% instead of everything all out.
Yeah, and when you're a reliever or a short reliever or a closer, you can kind of come in with that hair on fire a little bit. You know, as a starter, I think it's really important that you don't let the surroundings affect your next pitch. Maybe we've seen that a couple times here this inning.
part of the O'Connor family, as they're hoping that Pappy will get a pitch to hit here in a 3-1 count. Dylan O'Connor standing up and cheering him on, and the big pitch in this game is Mike Pappy looks at a 3-1 count. Look at the numbers. He's been terrific. Tends to be better when men are on base. Pinero's going. That's a called strike. Down to second throw, not in time, and it gets into the glove of Swanson.
It looked like a delayed reaction from Ellison that time, almost like he was holding it for the strike call instead of coming up to throw it. Watch Ellison when he catches it. There's a little pause. And I don't know if he was trying to frame it up to get the strike or for a minute it just had a little lapse. But that difference is a massive difference, because if you don't do that, A, the throws are a little bit quicker, but B, the rhythm is better to get the ball to second base.
Well, and it's a 3-1 count, so Pinero's going on kind of a hit and run scenario, so it's not his necessarily getting a big jump.
Now in scoring position for Pappy with 56 runs batted in and a chance to tie it or put him ahead with a swing.
That's probably it.
You got to go get him.
Yeah.
You really do. And it's the thing about Fulmer is you love watching the max effort just because it's fun to watch, and he'll go after you, and the aggressiveness is through the roof. But I think when you get to this point, you see the stuff start to change just a little bit, is when it's time to go to the bullpen. The freshman Hayden Stone up and throwing Tim Corbin past the top step, and that will be it for Fulmer. And even though he's coming out here in the 6th inning, he has been outstanding. They touched him up a little bit here, but he was in total control until the 6th.
Look out, got the shirt caught on the fence as he's exited the bullpen. We'll get a reliever, and the game is changed dramatically. 2 men on for Virginia, and the starter Fulmer coming out. Check this out as Carson Fulmer hands the ball over to Hayden Stone. Finish the job, if you could read his lips. Finish the job. And it's a tough job that he's going to inherit. But you can see the Vanderbilt crowd giving Carson Fulmer a standing ovation and the embraces and high fives from his team. He's responsible for the 2 men on, but he's also responsible for slowing down this vaunted Virginia offense, and now they turn it over to a guy who makes a living out of throwing a slider, and he's a freshman at 6 feet 185 from Columbia, Tennessee, Hayden Stone.
Tennessee Player of the Year his senior year in high school, and the stuff for Stone, the fastball's not going to be quite what you saw from Carson Fulmer, but it'll get 90, 91, 92. The key is that slider. The difficulty is who he's facing in the next 2 hitters. Left-handed McCarthy, left-handed Fisher, and whether or not they can lay off that pitch.
In the game against Texas that Fulmer started, Stone came in and pitched 5 2/3. He struck out 8, walked 1, and got the win.
And the slider special. I was calling that game at Texas, and it was the bottom fall out. It's a downer slider. He'll throw enough heaters to keep you off at enough, but when push comes to shove, it is that slider, and it's a good one.
Almost a split action.
Yes.
I mean, there's no side to side. It's just straight top to bottom when it gets over.
McCarthy a good low ball hitter, though, and that right center field gap still huge. Ellison blocked that. How big was the Robbie Coleman at bat, the number 9 hitter? Led off this inning with a single, and he's eventually scored. And now 2 more base runners. That one hit him, and the bases are loaded.
See the reaction of McCarthy, the pitch before that? And I think that some of that is going to be the book for these left-handed hitters. The first breaking ball from Stone was top to bottom. If it has any of that side-to-side movement, I think you're going to see the left-handed hitters climb all over the plate, and if it continues to come in, they're not going anywhere.
Well, that's an ominous start. as McCarthy gets drilled, and they're loaded for Derek Fisher. 29 runs batted in on the season. A chance to give Virginia its first lead in Game 3. Stone having a hard time finding the strike zone as you look at Pinero on third, Pappy on second, McCarthy on first.
Pitch of the game right here. As Fisher's thinking fastball, you would think Stone's going to throw fastball. And
nope.
He didn't.
Threw a slider and he swung over it, and it evens the count at 1.
That's what makes him so tough, is that one right there. If he can throw it in the zone, and not a lot of teams that can square it up.
College World Series teams are 8 for 26 with the bases loaded. On the corner, called strike 2.
And that was huge for Stone, because the first fastball he threw after the hit by pitch, not close. The fact that he comes back and hits the spot now just puts it in the hitter's head that, hey, I am willing to sneak in the fastball occasionally, but now almost certainly right back to that slider.
He got him. And that one didn't really have slider action on it. It was like a splitter.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so good, Carl, is the downward, the late action on it. The bottom falls out of it. Hitting a batter, hey, Fulmer over there fired up. After hitting a batter, the freshman comes in, hits a batter with the slider, misses badly with a fastball. For him to compose himself and come right back and make 3 good pitches to Stone or to Fisher, absolutely huge.
Kenny Towns comes up for Virginia. You see what he has done. He's had a very, very good College World Series and has made contact tonight. He flew out to left and he flew out to center. Hold your breath time for both these schools looking for their first College World Series title.
Great take. Because that's the good slider. And Kenny Towns seeing the ball extremely well right now. As a right-handed hitter here, you want to make him get the ball up. Anything you see down, you got to trust is going to have that kind of action on it as a swing and miss pitch.
The delay is not for a beach ball, but what looked like a baseball that was thrown onto the warning track out there in right center field.
Potato, potato.
And that bat's at the collection. Two and 0. John O'Connor, the father of the coach Brian. We're chewing wood right now. Outfield is deep. Laced, dropped by the shortstop Condi, no play. It's tied at 2.
We said 1-0 Earlier to Fisher, you think he's going to come fastball. Now 2-0, and in this case, Towns is waiting on the fastball and just rips it out to Conde. I think it knuckled at him and surprised him. It might not seem like it, but this is a heck of a play by Dansby Swanson. Because in his mind right now, he's not thinking the ball's coming to him. And he gets a missile right at his ankles. The reaction from Fulmer is not because of the pitch that was thrown. It's because in his mind, he thinks that he should still be out there finishing the inning. But the difference, I think, is the patience in the first 2 pitches to set that one up right there.
No question about it. Kenny Towns continues to have good at-bats, and the patience netted him a good pitch to hit.
They give an error to Conde. You wonder if he was at all blocked out by the base runner Pappy, but that's a ball I'm sure he'll say after he wish he had another chance to catch. So 2-2 for John Laprise as Virginia finally breaks through against Vanderbilt pitching tonight to even it up. Both of Vanderbilt's runs unearned. Errors have been a big part of this game. Conde made 4 errors entering the College World Series. He has 2 of them here. Not a good swing there from Laprise, who's almost smiling at himself.
And here again with 2 strikes, Vanderbilt, especially in the outfield, really shifts over the opposite field. Laprise loves to go that way, but I think with the secondary and the off-speed and the slider, the likely put-away pitch, I don't know if you shift that much. And right on cue, Vanderbilt is straightening back up in the outfield.
He is out, but the game is tied. Tim Corbin comes out and gives a high five to his pitcher. A game of inches, and we've seen them all tonight. So we got 3 innings to play, and the game is tied with the College World Series title on the line. Welcome back to the NCAA College World Series presented by Capital One. Gets no closer than 2-2, and the Capital One Cup standings as teams compete for a combined $400,000 scholarship donation from Capital One. Notre Dame, Oregon, they're at the top. There is a chance that Virginia, with a win tonight, would take over and they would claim the top spot. If you ask, has anyone ever won the cup in the last game of the College World Series? Yep, and it happened last year with UCLA when they won it all. So a lot on the line, and most importantly, this College World Series title, but certainly the season long, and I mean all seasons for colleges, the Capital One Cup is out there as well.
We saw the athletic director for Virginia before the ball game came into our booth, and
he's aware.
It's a big deal.
He's aware.
Just the College World Series title on the line for Virginia.
So it just shows how complete the athletic department is as a whole. I think you get to take the cup home with you. Stanley Cup travels with it.
Speaks to just total school excellence in sports. And some of the schools that we talked about and you saw there on the list certainly have that. Take a look at Tony Bennett, the Virginia head basketball coach, watching a good one as we start the 7th inning. 8-9-1 due up.
And now Lewicki's pitch count getting up there. You think any sign of trouble for him now, you might start thinking Nick Howard at this point of the ball game for Virginia.
2-1. Just go back to that last half inning and Robbie Coleman's at bat, the number 9 hitter. He had been facing a 2-strike count and he delivered a leadoff single. It was the first leadoff hitter they'd had on since the 2nd inning. Fulmer had retired 10 straight before Coleman got to him, and that opened the door. 2-2. Out of play. For more coverage of this College World Series, including the interactive brackets, the highlights, you can go to NCAA.com. Well, since 2003, the College World Series, 7 of the 11 teams to win have won in 2 games. Only 2 of the 11 that won it all lost game 1. And of course, Virginia lost game 1. Tied him up, and he's gone with a strikeout.
And after Lewicki fell behind there, huge that he's able to come back and win this at bat, because if Campbell can somehow reach, then you can play the short game, the bunting game with Ellison, a guy still searching for his first hit in the College World Series.
First pitch, fastball, 94 from Lewicki to Carl Ellison. Does the momentum, because Howard's in the bullpen, switch to Virginia, irrespective of the 2 runs? Does it, now that it's even, does it go to Virginia or no?
Maybe a little, but Adam Ravenel's really good in that Vanderbilt bullpen too. I mean, it's, you got 95, 96 on one side, 97, 98 on the other, both with really good stuff. Howard a first rounder, Ravenel a 4th rounder, but the bullpens and depth of these 2 pitching staffs are one of the biggest strengths of each.
A bit ironic that these 2 teams really got here based on pitching and defense, as good as it's been at times, the 3 errors have resulted in the runs. And that's what's cost the 2 clubs vying for their first College World Series title tonight. Lewicki looking for his 5th strikeout since coming on in the 2nd. Fastball popped up on the infield. Pappy is under it and makes the play with 2 hands as the ball drifted back towards the bag. Keep kind of rethinking the game. Your point about Ellison holding on to that ball for just that brief second on that stolen base attempt. Another one of those game of inches moments. And we saw Pinero steal second base. He later scored the tying run. Now the top of the order for Dansby Swanson, who has been great in the field tonight. A couple of Web Gem type plays, Sports Center top 10 nominees. Ripped into left field. Swanson, who led off the game with a hit like that, is aboard again, and he continues to be the brightest shining star for Vanderbilt.
And now with 2 outs, I think he looks to push the envelope early and try and get into scoring position. Just a fastball route thigh high down the middle of the plate. This ball is laced into left field. Again, Lewicki with that outstanding move at first, so the lead will be important, but not overly quick to home plate. So finding how far he can get will be the key.
Tim Corbin changed his lineup for this game, and one of those changes was to have Rhett Weissman batting second.
I have time.
Wanted to go, just couldn't get that break on time. It was a good job there by Lewicki of this time going quick. Came set, quick to home plate. And Swanson wasn't able to get that walking timing lead that he likes to get.
Dansby Swanson, 2 for 4 tonight, 21 stolen bases on the season. 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning for Virginia, and that's why we're tied at 2. So the cat and mouse game between Lewicki and Swanson is on. The reason he's so obsessed with Swanson, beyond the obvious of not wanting the runner to get in scoring position, but the 2 games that we've had in this College World Series, scores-wise, 9 runs last night, 15 or 17 the night before. That's aberrational.
Yeah.
This ballpark doesn't give up runs.
But the key right now with 2 outs, though, is when he does decide to go home, especially now as he's probably getting a little tired, he's got to make sure he concentrates on the pitch, because Weissman's a guy who can drive the ball, and a gapper would mean a run.
Well, then from a base running perspective, Swanson's accomplished what he wanted to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Doesn't go. This one popped up, and the folks in the seats behind home plate will get that one.
Yeah, it was almost like he had a decent break there, timing-wise. Swanson did it at first base, but he just was slow in getting going, so he shut it down. And a big second strike for Lewicki in Virginia.
Swanson, a standout 2-sport star in high school at Marietta, Georgia. You see him taking a lead off first base, a basketball player and a baseball player. Not going, missing 1 and 2.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't go here.
Yeah.
He ran in the first inning. Coleman airmailed the throw down to second into center field. Almost got him. Ooh, he was leaning and he almost picked him off.
The one thing I like about Lewicki too is he doesn't show you the same move, and he gets caught. Man, I thought he got him here. Nope, good job of Dansby Swanson to get that right-handed, but he got him in between steps. You could see that left foot come up, so all the weight on his right foot. That's just athleticism of Dansby Swanson get it back there, because most guys get picked off in that spot.
And that's as good a right-handed move as you'll see.
Outstanding.
I mean, that is.
And he throws the ball over in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
In that first inning, Swanson was on second, and Reynolds was stealing second when Coleman airmailed it. Swanson eventually scored on that play. He's going. Called strike 3. Inning is over. Swanson looks like he would have had the base stolen, but Weissman gets stuck with a bat on his shoulders. Lewicki's 5th strikeout.
Get ready, 'cause here I come. You're gonna wish you never took me on. Get ready, 'cause here I come. One down, next round, ready.
Certainly appreciate the folks at home watching this one, the game recap. Vanderbilt and Virginia, game 3 of the College World Series. It will decide who will take home the title for 2014. Carson Fulmer started it for Vanderbilt. He was outstanding. He is charged with 1 earned run, both runs that scored. Artie Lewicki has come on in the second inning. He's given them 6 for Virginia. And we head to the bottom of the 7th, tied 2-2 between two teams that have built programs that are the envy of so many other schools around the country. Led by great coaches, administrations that support the programs, and certainly the fan bases in Charlottesville and Nashville that turn out to watch. We start with Brandon Downs, bottom 7.
That's the slider Kenny Towns was able to lay off to get to the 2-0 count before he hit the line drive. It's a good late breaking downer slider.
He went 0-2.
You faced some guys with the best sliders in the world. So when you go up and you know what a guy is going to try to do at some point during the course of the bat, what's the mindset when you go up against a slider like this?
You know, I think against Stone, you've really got to, you need him to elevate the ball, and that's got to be your discipline.
On the ground and through. Second consecutive inning that Virginia has gotten the leadoff man on, and it comes from the 8-hitter. Last inning, it was the 9-hitter.
It's the first one he elevated.
Yeah.
I mean, the last 2 were down and out of the zone. Of the 3 pitches, this is clearly the most hittable. All 3 pretty good sliders, but this one enough that Downs can get to it.
Yeah, and I think you make him beat you with fastballs down in the zone. And if you can discipline yourself to lay off, that's the biggest challenge.
This certainly feels like a bunt situation for Robbie Coleman, the number 9 hitter. Look what they did in the first 5 innings with 1 hit, and since they've gotten 3 and benefited from a walk and a hit batter. Remember, Tyler Campbell at third base has only played a handful of games as he replaced Xavier Turner, who was suspended for NCAA violations. Coleman pulls back, ball 1.
Campbell is extremely comfortable over here, and I think this is a spot where you can get a little aggressive over there at third base, because I don't think they'll switch it up much. I think Coleman is there to bunt. I don't think you'll get into the slashing type situation. He can be a little aggressive at third.
Very dangerous. Brandon Cogswell will wait on deck. Will he have a man in scoring position? Or will there be 2 men on? Bad throw over there, and thank goodness that Xander Wheel was able to block it. Otherwise, for Virginia, they'd have a man in scoring position.
Kyle, it almost looks like it's the bunting has become a distraction for Stone. He stepped off and kind of reset, and this is kind of a buying time, you know, just getting a feel, and he kind of gooses it over there.
Foul ball.
I think part of it too is he's so programmed is the wrong word, because it's his best pitch, but what he wants to do is throw the slider.
He wants you to chase.
Absolutely.
Correct.
And in this case, it's a spot that you really have to throw to contact, and
right.
He's just not a guy that's really geared to throw to contact because the slider's so good.
Gets that one down. Still in underhands to first, but mission accomplished. Into scoring position is Downs, and the top of the order is coming up. Robbie Coleman's had a very good night at the plate.
Yeah, perfect execution here by Coleman. A ball up and out of the zone, but a ball he can handle. Just good fundamentals. Pushes it to the right side here. You see this ball is going to be up, but you see him just stay with it, keep that barrel above the ball. Just put it out there softly. Only play to first base. Job done.
Cogswell is 0 for 3 tonight, but he has forced Dansby Swanson to make a couple of diving plays. Downs is 9 of 11 when it comes to stolen bases there at second base, so good speed at second base. Look at the numbers, 9 for 21, 429 average for Brandon Cogswell.
All right, here we go.
Out of play, 0-2. Earlier this week, we chronicled the story of Brandon Cogswell, upstate New York, on his way to a high school basketball game with 4 of his friends. A terrible car accident that required emergency services, and he was able to recover, but feared for his life, and it was that phone call that every parent hates to get. He's here tonight in the College World Series, 0-2, and he watches that one go by, 1-2.
And Carl, with 2 strikes, the Vanderbilt outfielders again really shifted over towards left field. Norwood into the gap, Reynolds over by the line. But again, a little dangerous because Stone and his propensity to want to throw off-speed pitches to get you out.
A pull hitter, Cogswell fouls that one off. So Wheel at first, Swanson at second, Weissman in right, on their toes. Got him. Good job by Stone as Cogswell goes down. A rare strikeout for the leadoff hitter.
There's just not a lot of guys who have this good of a slider that against left-handed hitters from the right side can throw it and have the swings that he does. See that index finger, how he spikes it? I mean, that's really more of a curveball. He just throws it really hard.
Yeah.
It spikes it. That's what gives the middle finger enough grip and torque to give it that top to bottom action.
And Kyle, that's a locked in hitter.
Yeah.
He just made look bad on that swing, and that's just how good of a pitch that is for him.
Now Pinero, who's made a living driving the ball to center and right center and knocking in runs here at the College World Series. He did so in the 6th inning. Just that guy that keeps coming up in these spots and delivering.
Yeah.
That one was up a little bit, called a strike to even the count, 1-1.
Good adjustment by Stone there. Wanted to get the chase on the first slider. Pinero shows you the discipline. So you back off the spin a little bit and flip one in there that you feel like you can throw for a strike. Great look.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking for it, you get it. It stayed up enough for you to do what you wanted to, and you just kind of fouled it off. Now a lot of different ways. Does Stone show him a fastball and try and trick him with a fastball, try and elevate a fastball before going back to the slider, or does he just stick with the slider?
I think that slider's so good. I mean, it's first thought was elevate the fastball and try to get it up and out of the zone just to change eye level a little bit.
Right.
But when the slider's that good,
right,
it's
righty
hard to
righty.
go away from it in a spot like this where you need the out.
He went with it. Never really has to throw it in the zone. And what a job by Hayden Stone. A leadoff single from Brandon Downs. He gets to second base and he gets no further. Stone has been a rock. We're tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 7th with the College World Series title on the line here in Omaha. Look forward to the College World Series postgame show. We will be celebrating a College World Series title. Vanderbilt and Virginia tied 2-2 as we look down on TD Ameritrade Park. The 6'4", 215-pound closer out of Olney, Maryland comes on. Nick Howard saw that he was the 19th overall pick in the draft of the Cincinnati Reds.
I love the arms we've seen tonight, really all the way through this College World Series. And Howard, one of the premier arms in the entire country. Fastball into the upper 90s. You'll see a 94 to potentially 98 miles an hour, and another power slider. Primarily a 2-pitch guy, but both of them are really good.
He'll get 3, 4, 5 to start. Terrific job by Hayden Stone in that last half inning to make sure Virginia didn't get a run across. It's the finals of the championship game. Jess Mendoza, Jamie Sire down on the field. Kyle Peterson, Aaron Boone. I'm Carl Ravitch. First pitch 3 miles shy of 100. Couple of walks and a fly out to left for Reynolds tonight.
No swing.
The blessing and then the curse of playing in a conference like the SEC is that you've seen pitchers who can throw at 97, 98 miles an hour.
Yeah. Setting a little bit different here, though.
Absolutely. Take a little bit off at 95. Ease back. Reynolds to right with some topspin on it and played perfectly. Joe McCarthy. Our World Cup is getting closer for the United States and Germany. We'll see it at 11 a.m. Eastern Time with a kick at noon. Portugal and Ghana as the field continues to take shape. 2014 FIFA World Cup presented by Adidas. Both games kick off Thursday 11:30 a.m. ESPN, ESPN2, and you can watch both simultaneous group stage matches on Watch ESPN on your phone, tablet, or computer. One down for John Norwood. Knee buckler. Ripped to left field. This one is deep. It's gone, and Vanderbilt has the lead. A home run off Nick Howard from John Norwood. kidding me. How about installing John Norwood into the cleanup spot for the first time this year? He's reached base all times he's been up, and he goes deep.
Well, we haven't seen him leave the strike zone really all night until now. This is a fastball up and in, and I think we'll see it's off the plate up and in.
How fast are those hands?
Man,
how fast are those hands?
And the thing is, if you can get the head of the bat on a ball up and in, or sometimes down and in, just getting the head to it, it'll really carry. And this ball is pummeled down the line in left field by John Norwood.
Only the third home run that Nick Howard has given up all year. And the first one he's allowed in the tournament. That was power on power, and they've talked about Norwood and his potential. You can understand why. Strike one to Xander Wheel. This one's going to get out of play.
Well, let's take a look at this home run from Norwood. It's a fastball. It wants to go down away. It just runs up and in off the plate, and Norwood knows it right away. He knows he catches it. To be able to get to the barrel of the bat to this ball is, A, very difficult, and then to be able to keep it fair, and he knows right away, even in this ballpark, I got you.
Tony, that's 97 miles an hour.
Yep.
Up and in off the plate. I gotta be honest, I mean, what just happened never entered my mind when he came up. I mean, this place has a way of eliminating a home run from your mind sometimes, and John Norwood had other ideas, and that's an at-bat that he will never forget.
Only his third home run of the season. On the ground to third. That's Towns across the diamond, and Wheel is retired.
I mean, I think the ballpark right now is in shock. A little bit stunned, considering the ballpark, considering who's on the mound for Virginia right now, and considering the pitch that John Norwood was just able to run out of here. Man, what a swing.
That's the first home run that either one of these teams has hit in the College World Series, and it's the first home run for Vanderbilt since May 16th.
Called timely, Carl. Whew.
Well, they certainly had it set the way they wanted it, and the bullpen has given up 2 runs tonight after allowing just 1 entering tonight.
And now all of a sudden, if Howard's able to get out of this, you feel like the bottom of the 8th is the inning in this game, with the 3 lefties due up for Virginia.
Pappy, McCarthy, and Fisher scheduled to hit.
Can they navigate through that? Could go a long way for Vandy.
That guy, John Norwood, a single in the first. He walked in the third. He singled and scored in the 6th, and now he goes deep. Good pitch to Condi. The count goes 2-2. Out of Seton Hall Prep, John Norwood, Peapack and Gladstone, New Jersey. Condi swings and misses. Coleman will throw down for the out. But how about the thunder we just saw from John Norwood?
Check out these hands. This is 97 up and in off the plate. And Johnny Norwood has done something only 2 others have done at this College World Series, and that's leave the ballpark. And there is no bigger time to do it. 2-2 game when he stepped to the plate. Now it's 3-2 Vandy to the bottom of the 8th.
As we head to the bottom of the 8th, the love affair that we all have with the College World Series. I want to give a shout out to Steve Haas, who's running the camera there on the first baseline. Larry Fairclough over the right field tower. Hello, Larry. Of course, John Lawrence tipping the cap. Eddie and Larry get to hang out in center field in the wall there in the batter's eye. Kent Ayers handling the low first base side. 2 solid weeks of the College World Series. 15 inning games after 9 inning games. Greg Logan. Job well done by everybody.
Great job, everybody.
Absolutely. These guys are working all of them.
Say hello to Wade Hewitt. Yep. They don't get the afternoon or night off. So bottom of the 8th, Mike Pappy, the big home run threat for Virginia. Bats third. You've seen a fastball on the corner at the knees at 90. A little different approach from Hayden Stone.
Yeah, and because the slider's been such a weapon, those fastballs at the knees or at the bottom of the strike zone, as a hitter, the discipline is to try and lay off of that, because usually it turns into a slider, swing and miss, which we'll probably see now.
There it is, but Mike Pappy delivers. He goes the other way. And Virginia gets the leadoff man on in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And he hung it, Kyle.
He did. He did. And for Pappy, too, I think his patience at the plate is what allows him to do this right here. I mean, he waits just long enough. So it breaks all the way down into a spot that he can handle it, looking to drive that pitch the other way. How good is this one tonight, fellas? I mean, we're seeing a little bit of everything.
Tribute to the late, great Tony Gwynn, as he used to go between third and short all the time, and Pappy just did right there.
How are they going to play this with McCarthy, who's been one of their hottest hitters, their cleanup hitter? I think you got to let him swing.
Pappy, decent speed, 8 stolen bases on the year. McCarthy, 6 home runs.
Now, Kyle, when do they go to Ravenel?
Well, he's ready.
Yeah,
he's ready. And Ravenel, since Fulmer went to the starting rotation, Ravenel has really taken over that closer's role.
McCarthy hit by a pitch his last time up. Staying away from him, but falling behind 2-0.
So a 2-0 slider.
Absolutely. And McCarthy probably knows it, though, so he's got to be careful, you know, because he's just going to want to flip that get it in there slider. The mistake he made to Pappy, that's the dangerous one, because if McCarthy goes looking for it, that mistake could turn into a gapper in a hurry.
McCarthy hit one down the line last night. Wheel was late getting off first base, doing what he's doing now, making sure Pappy doesn't get a big lead. 3-0.
Looked like he was taken all the way there. Absolutely no wind right now in this ballpark. So again, if there's a time to really drive a ball, this is as good a time as any as we've seen in Omaha.
A single, a walk, and maybe time to get Adam Ravenel in. Great night here tonight, and a huge day begins early. 7 a.m. Wimbledon on ESPN. Then later at 11, the World Cup soccer game, United States and Germany. The pregame will take you up to kickoff at noon, and then at 7 o'clock at night, ESPN brings you the NBA draft. Don't miss a moment this Thursday. All the action live on Watch ESPN throughout the day. Download the app or visit watch ESPN.com.
All right, Kyle, you got another bunt situation. We talked about it. Looked like Hayden was a little uncomfortable pitching to contact, and that's going to be it anyway. So they're going to go get Ravenel, who's probably a little better fielding his position.
Yeah.
In a time where you're probably almost certainly going to see Fisher bunt.
Here comes Rav, and we will come back with 2 men on. Virginia trailing by 1 and nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Welcome back. It's now time for our pick you up moment of the game. It's brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Sounded good, and it looked good off the bat of John Norwood. 345 feet later, a touchdown, and Vanderbilt in the top of the 8th inning regained the lead 3-2 here in Game 3 of the College World Series. And now Norwood recognizes the trouble his team is back in. Adam Ravenel is on. 2 men are on. There's nobody out. Similar situation earlier in the College World Series. Brian O'Connor elected to bunt. They got the 1 run. They didn't get the 2.
Fisher hasn't bunted a lot this year, but he has sacrificed already in the College World Series.
Out of Sudbury, Mass, 6'2", 190. The 4th round pick of the Tigers, and 35-14 strikeouts to walks. He's got 2 saves.
Guys are hitting 151 off of Ravenel this entire year.
Happy and McCarthy on the bases for Fisher. He is bunting, and he lays down a good one. He can move down the first baseline to throw inside, and wow. Xander Wheel was lucky to get his hand out of the way.
Pretty good work for a kid that hadn't been asked to do that a whole lot. First and second, nobody out. Fisher with 1 sack bunt on the year, and he forces the third baseman Campbell to come get it. No chance you can get the lead run over at third base, and pretty good glove work by Xander Wheel. Now you're worried about runner, got to catch it and get out of the way. Just gets that glove out of the way in time and catches a spike in the ankle on the way by. There's a little thank you.
Now the guy that's hit the ball as hard as any for Virginia, Kenny Towns. First pitch off speed, strike 1.
And Vanderbilt with the go-ahead run on second base, conceding the run in the middle of the field, I think is the right play in this spot. But at the corners, anything to third or first, and you probably see them come home with it.
Towns laced a shot to the shortstop and brought in the run the last time he was up. Nick Howard, the great closer for Virginia, through 97, gave up a home run, and now the closer is on for Vanderbilt. Bases loaded, a hit batter.
Just got a little excited. Trying to get through this fastball, and right-handers, when you overthrow a little bit, that ball just sails off arm side, and then it's really going to take off and go into town. So now bases loaded, 1 out for the left-handed hitting LaPrice.
You know, with first base open there, not the worst thing, especially how Towns been swinging.
As long as it's not contagious.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the first batter he hit all year. Forced at any base, infield fly rule in effect with 1 man down for LaPrice, the designated hitter. Called strike 1. Mike Pappy's at third base. Joe McCarthy's at second base. And Kenny Towns, who just got hit by a pitch, is at first. Good athletes on all the bases.
And anything in their air to left field, there'll be a play at the plate.
0-2.
As Norwood and Reynolds again really shifted over towards left center field and the line. And Reynolds pretty shallow and left.
Just missed. That's a tough pitch to take. 0-2.
Yeah, especially after the first one that was called a strike. I mean, it's a ball. The first pitch of the at-bat was off the plate and called a strike, though. So the priest working the count back.
And I think that, hoping they get the call there, that fastball away, back-to-back pitches, I think now is to set up the slider that Stone was able to get LaPriest the last time.
1-2, back at him. This is a double play ball to home, to first. No, and wow, Ravenel was so careful to get it to Ellison. He cost himself the double play.
You know, we've seen it sometimes, and there's blips. There's times during the game where the game just speeds up out of nowhere, and it did right here to Ravenel. I mean, this is a double play the minute it comes off the bat. When he gloves it cleanly, it's a double play. But so worried about getting that lead runner. Not enough time there for Ellison to make the throw to first base. You get the ball that you want, just can't get it home in time.
This is Brandon Downs, the number 8 hitter. He singled his last time up. On the ground, Condi to second. They got him. Adam Ravenel gets out of the inning. And Vanderbilt now 3 outs away from winning the College World Series. Condi and Swanson know each other like brothers, and Dansby Swanson playing the role of a first baseman. There to take the throw to the ninth. 3-2 Vanderbilt. We've seen both Vanderbilt and Virginia's basketball coaches here at the College World Series. And there is no shot clock, but time is running out on Virginia. Let's go down to Jamie.
Yeah, guys, after that last out, you would have thought the Vanderbilt won the game with the speed that these guys jumped out of the dugout. They were fired up, as you can imagine, and I think they are confident that they've got this one.
Pitch a little high to Roe Coleman. Well, they left the bases loaded twice tonight, did Virginia. They left 9 on, 7 in the last 3 innings. And Adam Ravenel had an interesting inning.
I tell you, man, I give Ravenel a lot of credit for coming back after flipping that ball to home plate, because there can be a lot going through your mind after getting that second out. He came back and made a big pitch, gets 2 ground balls to get out of that inning in a giant spot.
With Brian O'Connor, there's, I'm sure, a lot of sabermetricians out there who will look back to that 2-men-on bunt, which succeeded in getting the runners on, but no runs scored in the inning. Coleman is a leadoff walk.
We're talking about in the break. I don't have any issue with how he did it. I mean, I think that at that point, obviously you want to score 2, but you want to make sure you get 1. And they got a hard ground ball just right at somebody, and a play that Condi had to make.
And you're really setting the table there for Kenny Towns, who's been outstanding, who ends up getting hit, and LaPriest has been a real tough out this entire series. So, you know, I was fine with it too.
With Coleman on, Campbell the 8 hitter, Ellison 9, and then to the top of the order if they get there. And This is certainly a bunt situation as well.
Well, they hit and ran earlier with this same group.
Yep. How about the role that Tyler Campbell has played in the College World Series? He didn't expect to get on the field. And Xavier Turner gets suspended for an unspecified NCAA violation. He has been so good at third base.
And some huge hits.
Deadens it. Howard will go to second. Good play to first. No. The advantage there for Howard as he throws it to Pinero at about 98.
The other thing about Howard, too, is he's a heck of a defender because at the beginning of the year and for a lot of his career, he's been a defender. Played a lot of first base, hit cleanup for this Virginia team earlier in the year. So pops off the mound easily. That right foot's already set. Body's turned. Can't get the double play, but you do get the lead runner in Ro Coleman.
So the sacrifice doesn't work. He was bunted back to the pitcher as opposed to down first or third. And now Ellison. To date, the only NCAA championship that Vanderbilt has won as a university is a women's bowling title in 2007. So they may have to move that trophy over and share it with the baseball team. The hero of the moment, John Norwood. A home run in the 8th inning. First home run by Vanderbilt at the College World Series has given his team the lead. You can see Ellison ready for a fastball, gets an off-speed pitch and is handcuffed. Two outs. For more coverage of this College World Series, including interactive brackets and highlights, go to ncaa.com.
Johnny Norwood, you can imagine what's going through his mind. He was drafted by the Blue Jays out of high school just like Tyler Beatty. Beatty was a first rounder, Norwood taken later. And they were both on the phone with Tim Corbin right towards midnight of the signing deadline. So Beatty turns down the money, and then a lot of that money shifted over to Norwood. Norwood turned down a lot of money out of high school, too, to be in a situation like this. And both of those guys potentially 3 outs away from winning a national title.
This is Dansby Swanson, the sophomore, who will also be a very high draft pick as a junior.
And I like what Virginia's doing here with 2 outs. Even though you're down a run, you want to guard against the extra base hit and that chance to add an insurance run for Vanderbilt. So you got Towns over guarding the line at third, the outfield playing a little bit deeper. Make Vandy string some hits together against your outstanding closer if they want that insurance run.
This is one of the guys that can turn around a fastball. Swanson 2 singles tonight, both shots to left field. And one of the first resulted in a run. Because that last inning was so long and the bases were loaded and they left guys on, Virginia is going to have 9 and then 1-2 in the 9th inning. There you see the guys due up. Cogswell, Pinero. And if it's Robbie Coleman, he'll lead things off. Hit really hard and to second. Cogswell to first. Swanson's retired. Virginia's got one chance left. And it's so close, Vandy can taste the target.
Here I come, you're gonna wish you never took me on. Get ready, 'cause here I come, one down, next round, ready. Get ready, here I come, yeah.
Ripped to left field, this one is deep. It's gone, and Vanderbilt has the lead. A home run off Nick Howard from John Norwood. The greatest moment of the College World Series to this point. John Norwood's solo home run in the 8th inning has given Vanderbilt a lead. They are 3 outs away from the school's first men's championship. As Ravenel's on the mound going for his 3rd save of the season, all in the College World Series. Pretty good numbers, 48-2 when leading after 8, and Virginia has yet to come from behind when trailing after 8. But not a comfortable spot. Coleman had a huge hit to lead things off in the 6th. That was the inning they scored 2 runs. How about a number 9 hitter hitting .444?
Between him and Nate Irving, the other catcher, it's been a productive spot for Virginia in the College World Series.
In there for a strike. A couple of off-speed pitches have gotten him in a 1-2 hole. Carson Fulmer, the man who started it, can't even watch. This one to right. And it's caught out there by Rhett Weissman as Coleman hit it well, but it stayed up long enough for Weissman to make the catch.
Well, another really good at bat from Robbie Coleman as he stays on this slider and really hammers it the other way. But Rhett Weissman, we talk about the athleticism of Vanderbilt this entire College World Series. Look at the break. Right away, he's on it, kind of measures it up, goes down, and makes a really nice catch down the right field line. And Fulmer, that's one.
John Norwood ran all the way over from center field to give Weissman a hug.
And now the infielders on the corners playing no doubles, but now the outfield seems like they've backed off a little bit too. Want to keep that ball in front of them, keep that tying run from getting to second base.
Brandon Cogswell is 0 for 4 tonight. Perfect pitch, called strike, 1-1. Even with the 0 for 4. Like Coleman hitting over 400. Look forward to the post-game show coming up next on ESPNU, and we will join you on SportsCenter as well to recap this College World Series championship game. He got him, and Vanderbilt is 1 out away.
What a sequence there by Ravenel. Two-seamer away, then come back with a slider to get Cogswell.
A possible culmination of a rebuilding program that Tim Corbin's had going for a dozen years. Remember that story we told when Tim Corbin took over in '03. They had a baseball game scheduled at 4 o'clock, and it was cold, and it was cloudy, and it was raining. And his wife Maggie showed up at around 3:50 and looked around and saw an empty ballpark and said, "I thought the game started at 4." And Tim said, "It does." And now they played to packed houses and are on the doorstep of a national championship. Danny Pinero, the last chance for Virginia. If he can get on, it'll bring up Mike Pappy and his 11 home runs. Called strike one. Twice this year at the College World Series, Virginia's walked off with wins. Swing and a miss. One strike away. Now the crowd at TD Ameritrade comes to its feet. Vandy's victorious. They win the 2014 College World Series. Pappy left with a bat in his hands in the on-deck circle. The ACC drought lives on. The SEC dominance now can add Vanderbilt to the list of its champions as they win the first baseball championship and men's championship in school history. And they do it in great fashion.
What a game. What a finish.
Yeah.
I think clearly the two best teams in college baseball were left. It went down to the final game, the final innings, and amazingly, a home run at TD Ameritrade Park turns out to be the difference in the College World Series.
And what you want to see in a situation like this is somebody make a play to win it. And that's what Vanderbilt did. John Norwood made a play on a pitch that I don't know if there's 15 or 20 guys in college baseball that could have done what he did. 97 in and off the plate. He spins it. Hits it about 350 feet, and Vanderbilt, for the first time in program history, can hoist that trophy.
What a great feeling for Tim Corbin and the Commodores and all of Vanderbilt Nation out there. They are the smallest school in the Southeastern Conference by over 10,000 undergraduates, and the man has built a program that is the envy of so many others. That is our Capital One Tournament Most Outstanding Player. Dansby Swanson did it with his bat, as you can see the offensive numbers, but his glove and his leadership worthy of the Tournament Most Outstanding Player, and only a sophomore. They took down the giant that is Virginia. Our coverage will continue with Kyle Peterson, Aaron Boone. I'm Carl Ravitch. It is now time to send to the Sports Center, and we'll see you in a few minutes.